Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nerds with Dice. Tonight is Calling All Heroes, New Athenians. Of course, as a reminder, our week normally starts on Sundays right now with the Gehenna Principle at 2 p.m. EST. On Mondays, we have the Long Road Home, a Wander Home campaign at 2 p.m. EST as well. Tuesdays at 8 p.m. EST is Riffs, Ballad of Fates. Wednesday at 1 p.m. EST is Kingdom Hearts, Dreams of Nobody with the Bardic Knocking crew. Of course, Thursday is this game at 8 p.m. EST, and Fridays should be Warehouse 15 at 8 p.m. EST. I almost forgot. We do have merch. You can check it out through the link in the chat or by heading over to Twitter and finding it in the bio. Okay, now that's everything.
I misplaced a notebook. It's okay though. It's not important. It just had
Fine.
hundreds of randomly rolled superheroes that I made once for no reason.
Oh no!
I can't imagine how that would be useful in this
I love that.
situation.
I love that
There
you
it
checked the box with your gunpla in it. It's like, they live in here? They live in here with the RX-76?
It could have been behind it. I do need to do the panel lining and then the decals on that one, but whatever. Anyway, hello everybody. And welcome to Masks, our mask game, Calling All Heroes, New Athenians. Recently, our heroes have been in the city after an alien invasion has taken over pretty much all of the adult heroes, with few exceptions, such as Inspector Spectre.
You don't have a head.
He has a head.
It's a ghost
Head.
head.
It is a ghost head, yes.
A ghost head.
I will give you his ghost head.
Oh, thank you.
I
Thank
will
you.
humbly accept this. I will humbly accept this.
Nope.
This gift.
I will absolutely not.
Did I not name these? Damn it. I rolled them.
Good night, everybody.
Anyway, there we go. That's a weird one. Okay, so the crew is the day of the invasion still. The crew has been doing a lot of things, including interacting with the Abraxius, also known as a crab hat, that has been found on some of the to be controlling some of the adult heroes. Their plan now is to get word out to others and decide what to do next. So, let's go around. Let's just go around and give a brief description of your name and power set, starting with Scarlet.
Hi, yeah, I'm Nerdy Teddy, and I'll be playing Scarlet After Image Alvin, and I am the Legacy Playbook.
All right, Parker.
I'm CJ. I'm Commander Pulsar. I'm playing Parker Lau, the protege, and yeah, I have martial arts and batons and sometimes swords.
Awesome. All right, Flux.
Hey, folks. I'm Fox. I will be playing Flux, a.k.a. Her Royal Majesty Princess Calindria Blanes Partenix. And I will be playing the Outsider, who's got cool shape-shifting powers and rad alien weaponry stuff.
All right, and finally, Kuvo.
Hey everybody,
Never gonna
I'm
get it.
Jackie. I'm playing Mingzi, whose codename is Kubo, and I am playing the Brain playbook. And basically, I have an artificial body, but I also have a power suit. Power suit's also being used, is also where I store my very advanced AI that should not have been there. But oh well, here we are. And yeah, I'm just really smart.
Okay, so all of you have found that there is a lo-fi radio station which covers part of the city that is still broadcasting, and you were hoping to use it to broadcast to others to help organize. And let's start there. You are at that station. It is run by a girl who's actually in your art class. She's kind of gothy looking. She's Hispanic. Her name is T. Zimmerman. And her radio DJ handle is Busy Izzy.
Is that T as in an initial, or is her first name T, like as in a cup of tea?
As in a cup of tea. It is short for Teresa, but no one, like teachers call her T.
Okay.
It is almost all but legally T.
Works for me.
She says, yeah, what message are you looking to get out?
We just we need to try to get a message out to the other young heroes, and to the people, to kind of tell them to stay inside if you're not a hero.
I think they're hearing they're hearing the stay inside part from the what did you call them, the Grevs, or whatever they are.
Right.
Those alien dudes.
Want to reinforce that from our side. I know some people have
Yep, but like
a thing about
It
that.
might be nice for them to hear that someone is doing something.
To those Wolf Street hooligans.
Also, if anyone offers you one of those Abraxas crab hats, just say no.
why would I want a crab hat?
I don't know why anyone would, but many are, so...
She just looks weirdly at you. Goes,
I look weird.
oh.
Not at anyone,
that's right.
I'm just,
Yeah.
being awkward.
She goes, oh, is Flux with you as well? You kind of like...
Well, that depends on the fiction. Last episode we ended with just After Image heading over. We can change that. I'm
Did the
down for
rest
that.
of you want to go there as well?
What else did we have to do? That was the other question.
I was fiddling around with that. We had a crystal that came out of one of their radios. They had like a terrestrial radio with a crystal jammed inside it, and we were like, well, maybe this can talk to my ship.
Yep.
So I had that, but that's about it. And I'm also not married to that. Flux is extremely flighty. No pun intended.
Are you trying to
no.
make that thing communicate to your ship?
Oh, we're just trying to see if we can tap into their communications network with it.
Yep.
That would
was
require...
me. That was probably me and Flux doing it. So.
Yeah,
All
but
right, so
we can also put that off if you'd rather have all of us in this scene. I can totally.
Yeah.
well, then the answer is no.
Okay.
And she goes, oh,
No, she's busy right now.
she's the coolest. She looks a little flushed when she says it.
Honey.
Sorry. Yeah, but like, what are you gonna say? You don't want to just go on there and ramble.
Right, yeah, I have an idea. I wrote down some lines. It's not my best work. I didn't have a whole lot of time, but I did it quickly.
I have a feeling Ming probably even like gave like pointers of like what you should like, had an itemized list of like recommendations, and you just crossing out what you don't like.
Are we not going to appreciate the humor of I did it quickly out of After Image here?
Yeah.
I spent the
Very
equivalent
good.
of 2 days on it, so it took me about 20 minutes.
I don't know, guys. Sorry that took so long. I just really wasn't sure what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And yet, After Image still gets her projects done like the day they're assigned.
Yeah. That way you have free time. All right. So Izzy sets up a recording device and she says, I can put it on a loop if you want me to play it like every now and then. I mean, I'll try to get some
Top
more
of the
power
hour
to my
bump.
signal. It's not like I've got, dozens of listeners, but I'll do what I can.
Well, hopefully they can spread the word around. Quick question. I know you said it was a little bit later, I think. About
Yeah.
what time is it?
It's evening now. I'm gonna say it's roughly dinner time.
Okay.
None of you have eaten.
Okay. I just and I don't want to say something
point.
and it'd be like, oh hey, it's like actually 10 o'clock right now. uh, yeah, no, yeah, that all works. Playing it on a loop hopefully will help.
If I get bored, I'll make a remix. All right.
I already like this kid.
She slides the
Oh,
microphone over to you and just says, just speak clearly into it. It'll pick you up beautifully. 3.
Calling all heroes. I am after Image. And I'm going to need your help. It's time for one last Olympus Park jam session. Tonight at 8. As for the citizens of New Athens, I have to ask you, and I know you're already hearing this, but I have to ask you to stay inside. Where it is safe. So we can do what we need to do to save this city. It's a difficult time, so if you are in an apartment building or a shelter, please reach out to those around you and help them if you can. We'll have more information for you soon. Thank you very much.
Perfect. All right, I will get that going. Are you sure you're just gonna say Olympus Park? Like,
It's a thing for one.
I've heard of Olympus Park Jam, but I've never been to it.
I've never been either, but I know where it is. But it's not in Olympus Park. There's a little like warehouse thing, like an empty warehouse nearby that they use, but they say it's in Olympus Park, so the cops don't know that they're at the warehouse.
A code phrase.
Oh shit.
Cool. All right, I'll run this.
Thank you.
Be safe. Don't get crab hatted, Ares.
That's the plan.
Keep your helmet on, I guess.
Yeah, you be safe. If we have extra manpower, we'll send somebody over to help keep an eye on you.
Oh, I'm good. Don't worry about me.
Are you sure?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be fine. I don't. Whatever. What are they gonna do? Kick in my door? Turn off my radio?
Fuck wipe.
I mean, possibly yes, but
Hey, a thought. Do you know other radio stations, pirate radio stations? Maybe they could get a copy of this.
I mean, I'd try to tweet them, but
That's fair.
you know what though? You know who I do know?
Hmm.
I do know a bunch of restaurant runners.
Hmm.
Huh. Maybe I can get this over to my cousin in dispatch. Because you know when you order food in the city and like the bike guys? I think I'm related to about a third of them.
That must be nice at dinner time.
Well, there's a lot of arguing over what we get and who has to go get it.
Yes.
God damn it.
But yeah, so I actually can get that message moved around. I know where I know where the sports bastard is. We're not friends, but like that dude sucks, but he's still broadcasting, I think.
What a name.
I'm dying how accurate that is.
And then there's the old man jazz station is what I call it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I
Familiar
love
with
that
old man
channel.
jazz?
Forsyth Jazz.
Oh yeah, I love that one.
They call him Smooth Bill. Oh, I'm sorry. He calls himself Smooth Bill. but I can get something to him to play.
That would be amazing. Thank you
Excellent.
so much.
The farther it can reach, the better.
Yeah. So
I
is this
appreciate what you're doing, though, because this is helping people that can hear you.
I'm doing this because I gotta do something. How bad is it? This isn't gonna be like
It is the worst invasion of Earth I've ever been through, but it's also the best invasion of Earth I've ever been through. So
what do you mean by that?
I've only been through one invasion of Earth, is what I'm saying.
That you know of?
Okay, so look, it is, pretty bad out there. Just, stay here and maybe keep the curtains closed.
Yeah, I'll keep my signal on a medium power. If I crank it up too much, I'll be too easy to track, probably.
Okay.
Unless I really boosted it or had someone help me hide it, but I don't know how to do that.
I mean, I probably know somebody who could help do that, but
Seems like a low priority.
yeah, probably. But like, we don't want you to get hurt either, so
No. I'll be fine.
okay, if you're sure.
Alright, thanks. You probably have stuff to do.
Yeah, definitely, we do. Aries, let's go.
So are you gonna go, or I got?
Yeah, Parker's rocked. Does Izzy want to change any labels or anything?
Izzy wants to up his mundane
Okay.
and lower his superior.
Yeah, okay.
Take him down a peg just by like.
No, it's
Wait, does she have influence over him?
Now-
I'm gonna, from just that remark, that just absolutely rock. Only invasion of Earth that he knows of. Just kind of.
That's true. I believe you can give influence to someone for free whenever you want.
Yes, you
thing.
can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just kind of like,
Yeah.
no, that's, I
Okay,
just like,
great,
fucking
great.
move my labels. That was
Great.
great.
All right, the other two of you are back with the communicator at the ship, which is in the hideout, or above the hideout.
Yeah. We're inside inside the Silver Star. Okay, so small yellow crystal. Just kind of reach and go, woof. Big glowy crystal. Now what? Tink.
Well,
Tink.
why don't you try to connect with the smaller crystal, like as if you connect with the larger one?
Flux takes the smaller crystal, turns it sideways, shrugs, and plunges it into her forehead.
Okay,
That was not what I was thinking, but all right.
so, this is gonna require something.
It might not do anything, because it's not like, I mean, she's a
well,
shapeshifter, so she's just kind of going blurp around
You're
it.
still
with her
trying
head.
to mentally connect to it.
I am.
Sounds like probably like a
It's-
It could be an unleash your
power.
powers, but
It could be.
you start to feel like a dissonance, but it's a low, soft thrumming.
Whoa, my brain feels weird.
The crystal has been removed from the thing, right?
From the
the
device, yeah. The
communicator?
crystal's just
Yeah.
by itself.
All right. It's kind of like someone is playing a 44 or 33 and a half record. But since you're standing so close to it in the ship itself, you are also getting the immense grand orchestra that is your ship's psychic gem.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
They are not playing the same song.
No, I would very much like to pull this back out of my head.
Yes.
Okay. Don't do that.
Advice taken.
better plan. See, now the problem is, as I make my way to the front of the ship, the problem is I never paid any attention when Mom was telling me, kind of push the chair, like swivel it to the side. Never paid any attention when Mom was trying to tell me how to get under the console, how to like do anything with this stuff. So,
See, did your mom tell you how to do anything with this stuff, or was it her, let's say, right-hand man? Was your mom?
Mom would have taken a personal interest.
Okay.
She would have taken a personal interest in this one, but yeah, actually, Mom's subordinates were not the most trustworthy sorts. So yeah, she would have taken a personal interest.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so like a panel of alien metal goes conk and comes flying out from underneath the console. So I'm pretty sure that this is where like our communication system is, but boy, there's a lot of like crystals and wires in here.
Let me see if I can decipher anything.
Okay. Whoop, I come up from underneath and hand over the crystal.
Gotcha.
Got the crystal, and I'm gonna activate Ashura and see if we can try to do some kind of analysis on the technology based on based on what we scanned from the terrestrial
Gotcha.
technology.
Oh, that's what I forgot to pull up. I was like, I've forgotten to pull up something. What is it? And it's my lists of masks things. My basic moves, my GM sheet. You know.
Hashtag max stuff.
Masks,
Just
stuff,
mask
the stuff to
things.
run the game.
Yeah.
Just mask things.
The rules, if you will.
The rules.
I will
if
say
you will.
this is a unleash your powers.
Sounds good.
We've got a team sitting in the pool, as I recall, right?
Yes, we do.
Well, the session
time we had
started,
a
so you
lot.
have a team in the
Yeah.
pool.
Yeah, this time we
Fantastic.
have only one.
I
Right,
would
we got
love
one.
to assist, and the way I'm going to do that is like,
Okay.
as Kubo goes down there, it's like, oh, hang on a second, like, presses my hands against a couple things on the panel, a few lights flash. There we go. Probably should turn off the harmonic feedback synapse, because, like, listen, it's like a breaker. I don't want you to die. A lot of psychic feedback, real bad. Anyway, there you go. Now you can fuck with stuff down there.
Well, I appreciate it because I would prefer not to die.
Me too.
I rolled a 12.
Okay, so you have you find a similar crystal to the one that's in your hands, and you realize this one isn't simply psionic. It needs the physical circuitry of it too. But you, being the tech expert you are, can replicate that physical circuitry and integrate it into what you know of this psychic system in a way that seems somewhat adaptable. You will get the occasional message come through that the ship will be able to translate somewhat.
Okay.
But because the ship is kind of a neutral psychic presence. It doesn't have a personality. It's not
Yeah,
like
there's no
sassy. So
Yeah.
it isn't gonna like respond to messages, and it'll be
But-
difficult to put messages into the system, but
Yeah,
not
the-
impossible.
The best way to think of the Silver Star's psychic network or psychic field essentially is it's like the computer from Star Trek.
Yeah,
You can give
okay,
it commands and it understands those commands, but
Mhm.
you can't be like, computer, how
Compose?
you feeling?
Yeah,
Right. Like, how's your day been?
existent.
Yes.
You start to get bits of movements, percentages of the city that have been taken.
Mhm.
There are some casualty reports about troops that they have lost, though in the process did manage to subdue Major Molecule, a size-changing hero.
Yeah.
Who had been nearly impossible to find.
Wow.
I would like to, like, once that kind of like comes up on the console and I'm like looking at the stream of data coming in, I would like to essentially set a Google alert if I could.
Mhm.
Like, I want the ship to let us know, like, to kind of ping at us if it picks up comms traffic that's like they're sending a bunch of people, like if they're mass moving towards a given location. See if they're trying to like, obviously they're deploying
Yeah.
all over the city, but if they're like a emergency, everybody go here to take care of thing, I want to know about that.
Gotcha.
This is kind of like an early warning system in case they suddenly are like, "Oh shit, they're coming our way. We gotta go, guys."
Yeah, maybe a flag if our names come up or something.
Yeah, basically, if they're looking for us specifically and think they have our location, I just want to ping from the ship.
Gotcha. Kuvo, you do pick up a broadcast from on your radio bands that Asura is covering. You pick up a broadcast from the radio DJ Busy Izzy of what you call it, that message that of After Image.
Well, it looks like After Image and Ares was successful with their assignment.
Ooh, let me hear. Like
you listen to it.
I call over and I'm like pawing at your suit, like, let me hear. And then yeah, it plays. Ooh. Hey. And I look around the ship. You know, we might be able to broadcast this from here. I mean, the ship can turn invisible and move around.
That wouldn't hurt. It would certainly help with spreading the message a lot more. Would definitely expand the network for that. We can do that.
Like a repeater tower?
Yeah.
Basically.
So, you're going to use alien technology right now?
Yeah, I mean, arguably I am, altering a human device with my alien technology. I would need a radio, essentially.
You find a radio.
Provides a radio from the junkyard.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Well, I mean, I go downstairs and I walk past the smoldering remains of the laptop and go, this'll do. Cut back to the ship.
That poor laptop.
It's just like a boombox or something. Or what kind of radio would
It's
would
an
you
iPod
have?
dock.
No, worse. It's a Zune.
I mean, what kind of radios would there be in that headquarters? Probably like encrypted walkie-talkie type stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay,
You would
as long
have
as it can-
encrypted. Yeah.
As long as it can pick up AM, FM.
Oh
to-
yeah.
when she's-
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Police band, ham radio stuff.
You take one of the many police scanners that are just sitting
There's
there.
like a server rack of just different scanners. Yeah. Tuned to each police police station frequency or whatever.
I go to a small. It's like a maybe 1.5 foot long little jut out of a table that's next to that bench I cleared off, and I shove all the crap that's on that table off onto the bench that I cleared. So now it's all over that again.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, okay, this is gonna be a little delicate as I like reach onto the wall and like pull down. It's kind of like a rack that deploys down of all these different like tools, and some of them look kind of pseudo-organic, but a bunch of them look very like weird and mechanical. It's gonna be a little delicate, but I think as I pull out a mallet, I can make this work. Wham! And pull the parts, like pull kind of the guts of the radio out.
Yeah.
And start just going to town with this open section of my ship. Yeah. All right.
Cross town with After Image. Parker flinches for no reason. Just.
I mean, good news.
I could spend a team to help us with the role.
You know, I will just give you a +1 for having a science, like the straight up science hero there.
Okay.
Be a +4 on this roll, so good news. So my freak's really high. Yeah, that is well in excess of a 12.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
On a 10 plus, choose one. It works exceptionally well, or you get an additional use out of it.
Ooh.
I would like to get an additional use out of it.
I will give you a kind of rolling additional use. You can do what you said, which is broadcast this message from different parts of the city for a while. So you can later choose to do it again.
Okay.
You will succeed in your goal of getting this message rebroadcast to a wider area of the city.
Yeah.
You do that, and as your ship goes around, you do see that there are these checkpoints. There have been 1 or 2 areas where there is a villain called Explodio. And there is a section of like a strip mall kind of area that has been explodioed.
Oh, Jesus.
But it looks like the Explodio is like, as you're flying over, Explodio is down, and you're catching this through the chatter as you get closer to this, and they're flying over it invisibly. That Explodio had taken out about 7 of the standards, like the standard minions, but he is down, and you see two of them wearing crab hats approaching him with like holding one. And there's a bunch of troops around.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Explodio is not a good person,
Uh,
and someone who occasionally gives the major heroes trouble, mostly because of civilian casualties.
I kind of like as we're going by, like I stop the ship, which like I don't know that we even necessarily feel anything because this thing's capable of interstellar travel.
Yep.
But
Inertial
and-
dampeners for the win.
Yeah, and Kubo, I imagine you came with me on this little ride.
Oh yes,
probably
yes,
because
I did.
I probably kidnapped you, frankly. What are you doing? I'm taking off. Whee!
Yeah, inertial dampeners. We didn't know we left.
Oh, Explodio has a cowboy hat and cowboy boots.
Of course
Of
he
course-
does.
of course he
He's going
does.
to the Explodio. I want to go to the Explodio rodeo.
This is
Yay.
not my first Explodio.
I was waiting
All right,
for
put a
it.
team in the pool.
But
Put a team in the pool. All right.
Put a team in the pool for that one. All right.
Okay.
Okay,
God, that's so
got
good.
it. I noted that.
Kubo.
Yes, I agree. It would be more tactically advantageous for us if we were to unleash Explodio. While it would normally be in normal circumstances be a terrible idea, this is actually a really brilliant idea.
The whole time he's talking, I'm like already like using like again. I imagine my console's a lot of like my hand is on panels or orbs or whatever, and
Yeah.
like it flashes through these different colors and everything. And the moment he says yeah, the whole ship just goes down. So I'm taking a quick check at what my Kirby Craft gets me bonuses on. Let's see.
Mhm.
When you're flying your ship, you can use it to do all kinds of cool crap. Great. So basically, yeah, I kind of want to like fly down there, open up the side door and scoop this guy up. Like
He is
actually, Kuvo, if I open the door, can you get him? And then yeah, GM.
all right. So here's the situation. He is on the ground, unconscious.
Ah,
And there are two people approaching him, and several troops behind them with straight up laser rifles, which don't work super well on Explodio. They tend to make him a little more potent. But the two that are approaching him, one of them is big and kind of purplish and kind of has horns, but now he's wearing that armor. And he has a crab hat on. The other one is small and kind of grayish and has a big kind of like frowny mouth that opens like dragon bait from the Dragon Prince. Like bait from the
Yeah,
Dragon
yeah.
Prince. Yeah. The little
yeah.
These are people that Flux is familiar with.
Oh.
That's Glum and Starbite.
Oh.
These are the people.
Starbite.
These two
Starbite.
were had come after Flux and actually led to the team forming. And it took the team acting in unison to send them away or to beat them up so bad they kind of ran away. It appears they ran away and into the Greven.
They're not wearing helmets.
They are wearing crab hats.
Okay, they are wearing helmets.
Both
They
of
are
them
wearing
have
crab
Abraxas.
Okay.
So wait, Kuo thinks of another thing, comes up with yet another idea. What if we were to temporarily disrupt the signals from the crab helmets, from the Abraxas?
Sure.
Turning the signal that you've adapted and turning it into a nullifier.
Maybe. I don't know. Can the ship do that?
We can mitigate the signal from locally through the ship.
You can mitigate it probably on the ship,
Mm-hmm.
but not as a broadcast.
Not as a broadcast. We
Um,
need something bigger for that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have the first idea of even how to. Plus, I'm low on fuel.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And there's
Very
parts
well.
of this that, like, even Kuvo, you don't know how they work. But some
Right.
of them look delicate and slightly cracked.
I'm thinking maybe we just explode. We rescue the exploding guy, and then we can throw the exploding guy at the bad guys.
I'm not against that plan. It seems like a reasonable plan.
So what I'm proposing, what I would like to do is like
Mhm.
I'm wondering if I could like drop the side hatch open, and if Kubo could like scoop up as I
Yeah.
do a flyby, essentially.
All right.
Yep.
So
I
what
can
you're
do
trying
tactical genius for that.
Yeah.
So I think Kubo's gonna point out like the optimal path of trajectory, like just map it out.
is
and
there
how to do
a game statistic for that for the tactical
Yeah,
genius? What does
tactical
that
genius uses savior.
do? Okay.
So I point out an obvious flaw in the known foe's plan. It's because of where they're arranged. I can see that there's like an avenue. I want to say that Kubo and Ashura see that like there's an optimal path where we get plenty of cover, and also and because of the speed, we would need to be at a certain speed to pick up Explodio very quickly.
They are moving in on him pretty quick. So go ahead and roll that.
All right, so it's savior. So I have I have a +2 to savior. That's nice to know.
Let me also call up
So
the playbooks.
it's definitely what it's going to end up doing is it might help you, Fox, or not. Yeah, no, that did not help. That was
What'd you
fine.
get?
What
I
did
got
you
a
get?
Well, mark potential.
Cool. Yep, marking potential.
Does it do anything
So,
on a fail?
Yes, on a miss, you fall right into the enemy's hands. Watch the trap spring.
Okay. You happened to do this in front of the two people that are ready for the invisible ship.
This makes sense.
As you come in swooping on this, Glum, the smaller one, pulls out the I just don't want to call it a plasma whip, but the energy whip that Glum also has, very similar to Flux's weapon, and whips it around and hits up at the ship, knocking the ship out of stealth temporarily.
Oh, crap stains.
Starbite, the bigger one, the purple one with spiky horns, then jumps onto Explodio and is about to crab hat him. Flux,
Okay.
were you going to try to defend?
Arguably,
Explodio?
yes. It's a question of narratively how. Well, I mean, okay, so we're out of stealth, which is bad.
So they can
but
see you to chase you.
We can still do the plant though. So yeah, I'm essentially moving to defend someone
Yes.
from an immediate threat with the ship, which I actually can do with Kirby Craft. So
Okay.
yeah, when you are flying
Do
your
it.
ship and use it to defend someone, use Superior. My Superior is a 1.
You want to spend team for that? I can spend a team to help you with that.
You can.
Wait,
help
well,
me do it
how
for
are we
now.
doing on team actually?
We have 2 because we haven't spent any yet.
You have spent one
So-
actually.
Oh, we did. Okay, so we
Okay,
are.
so we have one left.
Yes.
We have one
We've
left.
talked about spending them a bunch, but you actually spent one.
Okay, I'm gonna spend team selfishly.
Okay.
Ooh.
Let's see. Say here your actions ignore or insult your teammates, remove one team from the pool, and then shift one label up and one down, your choice. You can use this option after rolling. Oh, that's right. I forgot you can use it after. They specifically specify that here. Well, screw it.
Oh.
I'm gonna do it anyway.
Well,
I'm
roll
gonna-
first, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? All right. I forgot about that part of it. I mean, I need it. I do need it. I actually need it. 1 point would make this a success.
Okay.
'Cause I rolled up 5 plus 1 is a 6. So I'm gonna shift my superior up to 2
Which
and
makes it a
shift
7.
down my. Oh.
Do you feel like
gosh.
mundane might be going down for this?
As more and more weird esoteric things happen.
Yeah, honestly, that makes sense. I feel this is me very much remembering that. Oh right, I'm an alien.
And
So
it's not only you're an alien, it's these two.
these two
Yeah.
specifically
These
remind me
two.
of home.
Mhm.
So the way that this kind of works out as a selfish act is Kubo's just like sitting there like I don't know if you would be like leaned over me or just like standing over me, but like how would you be telling me what to do with the flight in?
So what would happen would be the power suit would project like a hologram projector right on top of the view screen, the ship screen to kind of give you the guidance. And
Okay.
and I'm probably like also like getting ready. I would also be ready to like be next to the hatch and jump to the hatch and grab Explodio.
But that
Okay.
projection happens to cover Glum Glum, the smaller one, for a moment, who uses that opportunity to shock the ship, knocking it out of stealth.
And I just like I reach over and grab a rag and throw it behind me, like hitting the little projector, covering it. It's like I can't actually. You know what I say in an alien language? I can't see expletive.
Uh,
As I push the ship in, and that gets me a
the
7.
second expletive does get translated by Asura,
Okay.
but not the first one. So, what is the
Involves
result
shoes.
here? What happens when this
That
happens?
is a 7. So on a partial success on defend,
Weird.
on a 7 to 9, on a hit you keep them safe and choose one. On a 7 to 9, it costs you expose yourself to danger or escalate the situation.
You get to choose, don't you?
Oh, good point. All right, so
Yeah, you do.
I need to choose which reward, and I need to choose whether I'm well, we've kind of already exposed ourselves.
Cost, retribution, or judgment?
Probably retribution because it makes.
Oh,
Because
that's PCs. That's PCs.
Oh, that's PCs.
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah.
Remember, this
Moving
is a
up is-
2-part move. It has
Oh,
its
yeah.
for
Gotcha.
NPC threats, and then it's
Expose
for
yourself
PC
to
threats.
danger, escalate the situation.
Yeah.
Mm.
Jeez, Louise'll. I feel like we've kind of really already exposed ourselves to danger.
So you're escalating the situation.
Screw it. I'm gonna expose myself to danger, and I'm going to take influence over Explodio.
Yeah.
Okay. You have influence over the unconscious or the semi-unconscious Explodio. It looks like he might just be getting up.
Well, he might, when he wakes up inside my ship, he may say thank you in whatever way Explodio says thank you. It might not be pleasant.
With explosions.
With explosions.
But hooked onto your ship now,
Mhm.
swinging in off their whip
Oh, crap.
is Glum, who whips around and readies his energy whip to counter your energy sword's form in the maneuver known as Greblock's pouncing on the dragon. Yeah.
I hate this
All
guy
of
so
these
much.
have like martial arts forms names of things that no one on Earth would know. It's very much a situation of fun naming plus Darmok and Jalad happening at the same time. It's the Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra of martial arts names.
I just shout behind me as I'm, because like my only thought is like, all right, let's get altitude. Did you get him?
Yes, I have him. We also have a visitor.
And I look back.
Been a while, Flux.
Oh, alien expletive.
I think for this,
Yeah, Kubo, if you've got something to get this guy off our
I
ship.
think Kuva's gonna try. I think Kuva's gonna actually use like a kind of like kind of like a repulsar blast out of like the gauntlet of his power armor. Try to just push
Directly
out-
engage that threat.
Directly engage that threat. Yay! And I have a -1 to danger. Woohoo! Excellent. I love it. Nope. that was a 4. Nope.
Okay.
Mark potential.
Mark potential.
I think I miss.
It was just supposed to be a quick pickup, you guys. I'm so sorry.
Asura, last time you used this on Asura, you had to tone it down.
Right.
It nearly killed someone last time you used this. But the first time you used this as Kuvo, you used it on Glum before.
Right.
But it's been a while since. And Glum's armor catches it, and Glum grabs you and take a powerful blow as Glum just like smashes into your head, like smashes the whip into your head.
Okay. So I rolled an 8, so I can choose to I can either lash out verbally, provoking a teammate to take a foolhardy action, or take advantage of their influence to inflict a condition. Give ground. Your opposition gets an opportunity. You struggle past the pain. Mark 2 conditions. Ooh, how much I like that. So I think what it's gonna be is, it's gonna be I'm gonna take the struggle past the pain. So the blow is gonna take it. So Kubo's gonna take that hit, and that's when like Ashura registering that the energy blast was not enough, auto adjusts and fires a much more powerful blow to back at Grom. Is it Glum or Grom?
This one's Glum,
Glum, sorry.
on account of the face that looks.
Oh. And I guess I'm gonna mark angry here, and I think I'm also going to mark insecure because I clearly was not ready for this.
You miss him, and the bolt goes out the ship.
Ow.
You don't know where that bolt goes. Flux, you get one more thing before I'm gonna let the others have a say.
Yeah, which is we've got to over.
You started flying away. You are off the ground.
Yeah, I'm trying to like gain altitude and like I've just let the ship go. I told the ship go up, and then I'm just sitting here going, chameleon plating. As I scream into what comes over the radio to both After Image and Ares, just help.
All right. That's what you're doing?
Help.
Both of you leaving have stopped to get you all some food. Where did you get let's see, this is a Greek version of Philadelphia. So did you get gyro hoagies or gyro hoagies?
Fucking house of gyro right about now. Oh.
It's a gyro on an Amoroso's roll. It's so good.
Yeah.
Or is it the Greek equivalent of a cheesesteak?
Well, it's not that far off. I guess gyros don't have cheese.
Gyros do not have cheese in them.
I don't know
Gyros
that
do not
would
normally
work.
have cheese.
They have,
No,
because
I
the
don't-
yogurt sauce and the cheese I don't think would go well.
I would not put cheese and tzatziki together. No. Anyway.
Unless
So it's
shredded
basically
cheese.
a gyro with cheese, no tzatziki.
No, it's not a gyro. Hell.
Yeah, but it is a local thing that everyone says you gotta go and try it with the whiz, and everyone's like, why would you put cheese whiz on a good sandwich? Anyway,
Oh.
never get cheese whiz.
Because you
ruined
gotta.
a perfectly good
No.
sandwich.
No, you don't. Don't get the cheese
You
whiz.
really don't.
Provolone exists and is delicious.
Yes, thank you.
It's true.
Any
It's true.
other cheese besides Cheese Whiz is a preference. It's a preferred option.
Elementary school cafeteria American cheese is like the second choice.
Right, we have to. You said American cheese. I'm X-carding American cheese.
Okay.
Fuck that.
There's a difference between American cheese and elementary school cafeteria American cheese.
Ugh.
Okay. So the two of you get that, and you have this food, and you see, for the first time, the outside of Flux's ship. What does Flux's ship look like on the outside? What's graffitied on it that Flux forgot was there?
Oh God. Ooh. Ah. Ooh. Ah. Ha. Okay. So it is a true to its name. The Silver Star is a kind of bullet-shaped. It has these it doesn't have like wings. It has these kind of like stubby, almost airfoils, but not like a plane where they flap up and down. They're just kind of almost stylistically these itty bitty little like a shark fin on top and shark fins on the side. But it's otherwise generally kind of like a bullet shape, which you kind of gathered from being inside of it several times. It is a shiny silvery metal that is accented with these streaks of red and along the underbelly, like this big streak of black. Written along the front open, like, because this is a comic book, obviously it's got a window that you see out of. Underneath that, it says, in an alien language, the Silver Star. The black's also just got a big, I don't know, looks like an alien skull on it.
Okay. You see that flying through the sky, the side door of it open, and more people in there than you've ever seen before.
I do like the idea that it's been tagged with graffiti, because like one time she left the camouflage field off, as some kids just painted on it. Didn't
Oh,
even,
I was
alien
thinking
ship?
that she, before it was fully hers, tagged it with graffiti and then just hasn't turned
Oh.
off the chameleon, or just hasn't turned off
I
the
mean,
chameleon cloaking
Could be
since.
both.
Actually, okay, I'll split the difference. The writing in Alien underneath the cockpit lid is with a bad, like, obviously very poor penmanship. Like, in fact, actually, she's probably gone back. I take it back. That's chiseled on there in Alien writing. Underneath it, in poor English writing, is the Silver Star
Gotcha.
with like blue spray paint, and it's underlined, and there's a heart.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah, I was like,
Ares, after image, what are you doing?
that can't be good.
No, it's not. After Image looks kind of mournfully at her like 3 sandwiches, sets down the tray, pulls out an energy bar, goes, "I'm on my way," and like wolfs down the energy bar
All right.
and takes off.
So the obstacle that you need to overcome to get up there is that this is not on the ground.
Yes.
Would you like to overcome an obstacle?
Yeah. I will attempt to
Unleash
overcome
your
enough.
powers.
Let's see. I think I'm not bad at this.
Ares is like, I guess these are to go.
Look at that. That's a 10.
Hey!
Nice.
You time it so that as this thing is moving, you use your speed to bounce off a building, up a floor, run up a fire escape, jump onto a water tower that's the perfect height for you to jump into what is happening. There is Explodio, the exploding villain on the ground, mostly unconscious, maybe, or he's faking it. It's hard to say. Then there is Kuvo, who's just blasted towards, suddenly, Glum, who's there all of a sudden, but wearing a crab hat. And it looks like Flux is just maniacally piloting? Desperately piloting.
Also, yes.
Somebody want to explain very quickly what's going on?
There's bad guys in the ship, but keep one of them.
Which one?
The one with the crab helmet.
That's the one we keep?
No, that's the one we throw out.
All right, what are you doing?
Just gonna go and try to remove Glum from the situation then.
All right.
I just realized we're flying around with that door open. All my crap is spilling out. Oh no.
Well, it's spilling towards the back.
I guess that's true.
You haven't done a barrel roll yet, as I had suggested.
that's
Also,
true.
you might have one. You might have a cabin that is got a permeable field.
Mm.
So like, there's enough air out, but not like you don't get a vacuum effect.
Yeah.
I rolled a 4.
Okay. Explodio
Also-
wakes up.
Mark potential.
Oh
I
boy.
did.
Everybody except Flux take a powerful blow.
Are you sure? Because it's a small ship.
You know what? It is a small ship.
Okay.
Flux.
you're
Oh, you
calling
have
away.
advantage on the, or you have influence. So I will give you the influence +1,
Oh, okay.
as he's
Wait,
not.
that's bad.
Well, okay, I will give it a -1 in your favor then, because
Okay.
he wants to blow you up less.
Is Explodio considered of much greater power?
Yes,
Cool. I get to use my move, never give up, never surrender.
you might have to. Yeah.
You might have to, yeah.
You help me out. I'll blow you up last.
I roll a 4, so I get to just mark potential.
Okay. You.
Oh.
The
I
explosion does
I
not
rolled
hit
a-
the front nearly as bad.
Yeah, I rolled a 13 because of all my conditions.
You go flying out of the ship.
Oh,
Yep.
rapadoodle-doo.
I get 13, so on a plus 10 for take a powerful blow. Yep. I'm just out of the scene. I'm just out.
You're out of that situation.
Yeah.
I'm not. You will be entering a second situation where Ares is on the ground. After Image.
Okay, so I get to add plus savior to my roll, so I have a 10. And on a hit, I stand strong and choose one. And I am going to choose you rally from the hit, and it inspires the team, add one team to the pool.
Okay. So the team, this has kind of cleared the playing field of some of the chaos. This hits. I'm actually going to mark a condition for Glum, who lashes out and gets his arm around, or gets his whip around Explodio's arm. And hitting the ground with a forceful thump is Kuvo.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Very
I
nice.
just heard a sound.
Yeah, me too.
I think I just got pinged by a submarine.
Yeah.
Okay.
One
Anyway.
ping only.
Or someone got a Skype call. Who knows? All right.
One of those.
Yeah. The Kuvo hits the ground pretty dang hard. Like very close to you, Ares.
Once I can, I mean, if Ares is headed that direction, and it's.
Are you
Ares
going to?
maybe-
It looks like he's going to hit. Okay, then it looks like he's going to hit the ground super hard.
Okay. Something I wanted to do is
Mhm.
be mindful of my surroundings and assess the situation.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Rolling superior, which, thanks to Izzy, is a -1, so I got a 9.
Okay.
Which means, according to the move, I would ask 1, but because of the
You get an
being
extra.
mindful, I get an extra, so it's 2. What here can I use to prevent Kovo from taking damage? Or at least minimize the damage he's going to take?
You see very suddenly, there is a mattress truck, a mattress factory, outlet store here. There is a truck that looks like it started pulling out the back before like the person driving it just left with the back open.
Okay.
So if you can either move that truck or move those mattresses.
All right. And the other... How could we best end this quickly?
Get both of those two off the ship.
Okay. Great. All right, so I'm stealing a mattress truck.
You're appropriating a mattress truck.
You're
Fair.
appropriately
It's been
stealing.
commandeered.
I'm using a mattress truck.
All right, so you move it into position, and Kuvo, you hit into it with a loud. Basically, we
Clunk?
see you.
Am
The
I
comic book
defending?
sees you flying. Yeah, roll for defend then. That will be a good way to determine what happens here.
I just want it to be like you get into the truck and do the like keys, flip down the visor.
Yep.
9 on that, so it is a success, but it exposes me to danger or escalates the situation. I don't have conditions to clear. I have influence over Kuvo.
You
Just
do.
add a team to the pool then, or change Kuvo's labels.
Yeah, I think adding a team to the pool
Okay, so
seems
you're
like
up to
a
what, 4 now?
useful thing.
I think you're at 4. Yes.
I've
Okay.
3 or 4.
Mhm.
Anyway, and
It's 3 right now.
Okay, that's it.
I have no problem exposing myself to danger.
All right, so you get the
Had
truck.
to finish that sentence completely.
Yeah, you get the truck into place.
US.
And the comic book image is the truck pulling into place, a flat back of the truck, Kuvo flying into it, sound effects, and then both of you flying out the front of the truck, landing hard on the ground.
Skirt, skirt, skirt.
Yeah.
Actually,
Take
tuck,
chips.
kind of tuck to to keep my limbs in, and also because I have the sandwiches.
Those are very important.
You still have half the sandwiches now.
Okay, I have after images.
I'm going to use a soft move and only destroy half the sandwiches.
So there's only less tiers.
Yeah. Up in the ship.
So when you take a powerful blow and make it through, one of the things you're supposed to do is say how you weather the blow.
Oh,
and in my head, I just imagined it was like I very quickly like kind of saw what was happening back there, reached down, grabbed my I don't know,
Energy device.
Energy device. I should come up with a cute name for it. And like flip it over my shoulder, and then rather than like the big sword coming out of it, it's like a flat like plane, like almost like a shield essentially, kind of goes out of it, and I just kind of like as it scatters across. And as I look back at him, I stand up and turn around and whoop it back out into a scimitar, or not scimitar, friggin' cutlass. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going back to the flotilla, you big jerk! And I want to try to get this. I also would like to just. I've set this ship to autopilot essentially, so it's just going to keep climbing.
But he responds, "The flotilla is nothing compared to Dilgrev."
Your face is Dilgrev, and I'm just gonna like go in and just try to like plant my laser sword like
Engage
right on
that
him.
threat. Let's see how this goes.
That is a 6.
Okay,
Hey, I leveled.
so
And I'm just swinging like wildly in there, just trying to get at him with my cutlass.
all right, you're going to take a condition, but he gets to say something first, and then you get to pick the condition in response to what he says.
Okay.
You kicked us off this planet and sent us into space, and we were going to return to the flotilla, but then the Greven found us, and we showed them where this was.
Marking guilty.
You don't know how true that is?
Doesn't matter. Flux is a teenager. She
He's
feels
trying to
guilty.
blame you for this invasion.
It works. Yeah, like I go. It's a little like clank, clank. What?
And in that, you get hit in a dramatic scene, but don't take like damage because you took a condition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, this little laser whip goes like, poof, and I go, reel away from it, like slam against the wall, and all my crap comes falling down off of the shelves in there.
After image.
I am going to try this again. I'm going to try to punch him and get him off the ship. Let's see if I can. Hey, that's a 12.
Hey!
Pick 2.
Yeah, pick 2.
Yep, let me get my sheet up here. I'd like to take something from them
Mm-hmm.
and create an opportunity for your allies. For an ally.
Question. In this moment, do you consider Explodio an ally?
I mean, if he's working with the team, he is technically part of. He technically does count as like a team because like you could technically use team with him because he's working with us. But so like, if he's not working against us,
He's not working against you specifically.
then I guess technically he's an ally.
All right. Then, what are you taking from them?
I want to take their weapon
All right.
that they had.
You do a series of quick strikes on Glum's arm, which this is part of how you beat them before. The arm is actually somewhat cybernetic, and last time you all figured out how to disable that arm. And you do that again, and this time the energy weapon drops to the ground. You get knocked into the wall next to Flux. And Explodio grabs Glum and just dives out of the ship.
Oh,
Well, I guess he's off the ship.
oh, come on.
Boom. Everyone shakes.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, jeez. Scrambles up towards the cockpit.
The scanners show neither Glum nor Explodio.
Stops ship from continuing to climb. Ship just goes. Boop.
Ares, you're on the ground. You see a big burst in midair, and then the shockwave hits, crashing a lot of glass on the street.
Does anybody have a report on collateral damage? How bad
Are you
is
two guys
it?
okay? Kuvo, are you alive? Is Kuvo a pizza?
Kuvo will actually, if there's enough big pieces of glass or debris, Kuvo's gonna actually flip Parker over. Is gonna flip Parker over and actually shield,
cool.
shield Parker.
I
So
like
I'm
that.
gonna defend.
Do it.
I do have influence over Ares, so let me see here. Let's see what happens. It's Savior. Okay, this will be interesting. Oh, I rolled a 12.
All right, how much significant eye contact happens between the two?
The entire time.
Okay. That's really what we're here for.
Yep. Yep. Let's see. So on a hit, I keep them safe, and I choose one. So I am going to clear a condition. So I am going to do that.
All right. This is a very CW moment.
It's the most CW you could ever hope for.
It might even be Teen Wolf levels.
Oof.
Yes, we'll go there.
All right. It's a very specific description.
But I will say, so when Parker looks into Kuvo's eyes, Kuvo, you realize that even Ming's normal eyes are no longer organic. It's bioorganic. You can see there's a little bit of moving bits of camera in there. It's it's an ocular implant.
But also they hold on, I just need to check something. They're super pretty.
Yeah.
They're kind of amber with flecks of blue in them.
Interesting.
Anyhow. You still have half the sandwiches?
Yes. So if there was one for me, Kuvo, Flux, and 3 for Afterimage, that would mean there's still 3 left for Afterimage, and we'll just have to.
There's 2 for Afterimage, 1 for the 3 of you.
Sure.
Your scanners do show 2 things flying away from the explosion at rapid pace in a ballistic trajectory. You don't know the condition of either of the people that exploded.
Okay. So that was a bad plan.
What
No.
was the plan?
I'll tell
We
you
were
on the way
planning-
back.
We were planning
Okay.
to utilize Explodio as a potential asset to help continue to be a deterring force for the Greven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good news. I think we saved him. If he's not dead. Hang on, I'm coming by for a pickup.
The good news is you know for a fact that there is no Abraxas on Explodio at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a
Fair
plus.
enough.
I'm chalking that up as a win.
I've been reading the files.
Mm-hmm.
Master Lowe probably has heard of Explodio.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah.
Master Lowe has actually fought Explodio.
This whole time I'm just bringing the Silver Star in for a
Master
pickup.
Lowe
It's-
is not exactly a hero, but does have his own comic where he does things. And occasionally it brings him into encounters with supervillains.
Yeah, okay, I'm kind of in between like the Punisher and Daredevil-ish, maybe. I don't know, somewhere in there. Okay. So I got an 8.
Okay. What
On
happens?
it's a on a hit, I tell the team one important detail I've learned from my training. The GM will say what, if anything, seems different from what I remember.
Go
So
ahead.
basically, well, Explodio absolutely will survives his own explosions. It's not anything, so he's fine. Um, and just he has to explode every so often. It just has a level of volatility that just builds up. If he doesn't use it, it will go off without his control. So
A. Sorry. A nocturnal explosion.
sure. I mean, he's not careful.
If he's not careful.
I have a pirate hat now. It makes me feel better.
Anyhow.
Yeah. No, there's
I
a
feel better.
reason. There's a reason he's a villain, because he was a teen at some point.
He is no longer a teen.
I thought you were talking about our game boss.
I was a teen at some point. Anyway, the files also say that like trying to guide Explodio, like a number of people have tried to use Explodio, and it always ends the same way. Yes, in an
Blows up in
explosion.
their
Literally.
face.
Ends with explosions. Who would have thought?
Though Explodio's cowboy hat sometimes always gets blown off, but then in other panels just appears back.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
kind of like a quantum. Remembers if they remember it exploded or not.
So is it considered a win if you can work with Explodio for more than 8 seconds?
Surviving
God damn it.
Explodio is its own feat.
Trophy. You survived exploding.
Have to move on.
Spent 8
Jokes are no
seconds
good.
at the Explodio. All right.
Cut to anything.
Yes, you are all reconvened. Back in town. It is now getting close to 8.
Okay.
Ares, do you have a table and a map of the city? I'm gonna need that eventually.
A table with the map of the city? Yeah, I mean, yeah, do we need it at the warehouse?
Yeah, I'll need it at the
Okay.
warehouse.
I will load it in a van.
Thank
Go
you.
back to the base. It is one of those tables that has like a scale model of the city, like every building kind of just built out. Yeah.
Yep.
Just load it up in the van. It's like this is okay.
All right. It comes over the communications that there is a large troop movement amassing in different areas of Olympus Park, looking for large groups of teenagers. They're essentially deploying they call back several patrols to help support potential insurrection at the park.
This comes over our comms, which is good because Flux is asleep next to the pool that we're keeping the Squid Man in. Or Octopus Man? Octopus Man.
Mark Cephalo.
Mark Cephalo.
Is what
Yes.
you all have been calling him. He is not a. They have not come conscious
Yeah.
to tell
I'm
you
just,
a name.
Flux is very tired, and she took a little nap next to Mark. But
Yeah,
this alert comes over all of anybody who's got communications turned on. My ship is telling you this.
Okay.
Yep. Kuvo's gonna resupply up using reassembling and retrofitting anything in this warehouse for additional gadgets.
Gotcha.
So that's what Ming's been doing.
After image. If you don't feel it's too dangerous, how do you feel about, I don't know, going to the far side of the park long enough to be seen?
I mean, I can do that, and then just disappear.
Yeah, exactly. Just, for a few minutes, just make sure that they give them something to chase.
Yeah, I can do that.
I'll go ahead and utilize my tactical genius again because we have the scale model, and using Ashura, Kuvo can give out the optimal path to basically make them drag it out for as long as possible.
You link up what you're actually doing here is connecting the troop movements into Ashura, and then having Ashura, without your active participation, feed that directly to After Image in order to maintain an optimal evasive path.
Yep.
Ah, clever.
That doesn't seem dangerous at all.
Yeah,
No,
I just have to roll Savior and see how that goes. Ooh, I did roll well. I rolled a 9. So on a hit, I'm right, and another teammate, it's going to be After Image, can take advantage of it. They get a +1 ongoing to act on that information. Now on a 7 and 9, I get to pick an additional thing. I'm gonna pick. You. I missed something important. The GM will tell me what.
Okay.
I'll tell you what when it comes up.
Yeah, you will.
Is anything else happening before before you go to the jam?
Who comes to wake my ass up?
I guess it's my house, so
Yeah, Ares,
By all means.
have a
on the
conversation.
lights in the flipping on the lights in the pool.
So I'm like laying, because you said it was one of those narrow pools, so I'm just sort of like laying like on the surface, not the surface of the water, but like on the floor is the word I'm looking for, next to it, with my little laser device just kind of like pulled in. Just
Who has the other laser device?
other laser device?
Yes, because one of the things After Image did was take glums.
Oh, good.
Is that a
point.
laser sword?
Well, it's like my device. If nobody else is
Your-
particularly,
It is the older version of your device.
Yeah, if nobody else has a particularly good use for it, then I suspect I would have. Then that's actually what I've got both of them. I've just kind of pulled them in.
Ah, 2 lightsabers.
2 lightsabers, just kind of pulled in.
2
at the pool.
laser cutlasses.
Laser hard light projection devices, which need a clever name, which I don't have. But
Edged
Anyways.
it's edged light projection.
yeah, edge light projection.
ELPS.
Love to edge.
ELP.
Elps, yeah. So I've got both the Elps just kind of like pulled in, and I'm just lightly snoring by the pool.
Eterbian edge light protection. Yelps.
Elps is what I'm writing in my notes.
Okay. You could make it AELPS if you wanted to add a different.
Well, Eterbium is
Elps.
YTTER.
Yeah, but we're not calling them Yelps.
I'm not calling it a Yelp.
You're giving
not
that a
a-
bad review? That's
it's not a
sad.
Yelp.
Yes, I'm
one.
giving this joke a bad review. 1 star.
1 star, bad review.
And she should know she
Would
came
not
from
tell
them.
again. It's
Never
true.
come back again.
All right. What happened?
Yeah, so I just kind of nudge the shoulder.
Nah, Earth.
Lux. Yes, Earth.
It's like
Also
my eyes
ti-
will dart
Also
up.
time.
Hi.
Time. We're going.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of stand up. I'm just sort of like awkwardly holding both of the Elps. I really like Earth.
Same.
I hope it doesn't get destroyed.
Well, yeah. We're gonna prevent that.
Yeah, we might have caused it though. That's what. Oh God, which one was it that we scooped
Glum.
up? Glum. And that's what Glum said. Is that this is actually because we. They wouldn't be here if I hadn't come to Earth, you know. I'm like the first alien invasion. And I don't want to be an alien invasion. I want to be like you Earther guys. I want to be earthy. I like Earth. Earth is good.
Earthy's not always great, but
It's better than where I come from.
look, I know quite a bit about being kind of responsible for bad stuff. And that has already happened. Can't go back and fix it without the assistance of like Lady Quantum and some advanced scientists. So we make do with what we can and focus on going forward.
Oh
Do
my
better.
God. Sorry.
Hmm.
Keep going.
Okay. Okay. I just
You know,
I just
would
hate being
say
an
my-
alien, that's all. Like I hate that I'm not from here. That's all.
why? It's cool.
Earth's way cooler.
Yeah. Maybe not to us. We don't know any better. We've never been anywhere else. At least
space is-
when I say we, I mostly mean me. I don't know everyone, but
you say that, but like it's
different isn't bad.
yeah, but different is
And-
different.
Well, look at it this way. You can be the different that tells people that out there isn't scary, isn't them, isn't invading forces. You're the different that says things out there are cool, things out there are fun, things out there are great.
All right, go ahead and roll support or comfort because there are shades of things happening here.
There are.
Mhm.
I also just set up one of my team moves.
Oh, good.
9.
All right, so what
Dang
happens to the 9?
Wait, think I have influence. Does that give me a +1?
Oh yes, you
it
have.
does. Then it's
or
10.
wait, hang on. Sorry, I have influence
Do I
over
have-
you. Do you? I don't know if you have influence over me. Sorry, I got that backwards. You would have to check your notes because I don't know.
I
Yeah.
think I do. Yes, yes, I do.
Okay, then yes, that is
From
10.
the beginning, from
Yeah,
the
because
first
at no
part,
point
yeah.
did
We haven't
Flux
lost
lose
it.
it.
Oh
Yeah.
right, because I had to give influence to everybody because
Yes.
the outsider does that.
Yep.
Right.
So a 10 on support.
All right, let's see what happens. They hear you. They
Mark
mark
potential.
potential clear condition or shift labels if they open up to you. That's up to Flux now.
Mm-hmm.
You can choose to add a team to the pool or clear condition yourself.
I have no conditions, so add a team.
Up to 4, or we used one, so we're down up to 3 again. I think. I'm not in charge.
4 to 3 to 4.
Sure. Yes. 4.
So I am gonna go ahead and mark potential.
And you have a team move that triggered. You say.
I did, yeah. When you share a vulnerability or weakness with someone, they tell you what you should do to fit in more. Take +1 forward to do it, and mark potential if you do. So arguably, we did that completely on accident, because I shared the vulnerability that I guess the vulnerability that it's like, hey, I feel weird being an alien, and
Yeah.
what you told me was, show me you're one of the good ones. To choose my verbiage very poorly. So note to self, take +1 forward to do it, then mark potential if I do. So I'll just have to keep that in mind.
Well,
Yeah, don't be a bad alien. +1.
to be a contrast to bad aliens,
Sure.
not to not be bad, but to
Yeah.
yeah.
To specifically say that, like, no, I'm not with them, and hey, by the way, it's
Also,
there's help out there.
just as an outside fact, there are like this world has known other aliens. You're not like the first alien hero.
Oh, okay.
But they are extremely uncommon.
Okay.
But you're not the only alien teen hero.
Yeah, and I think to wrap up that scene, then it's just like I kind of look down at both of the elves, and then just like shove what it's a comic book, so my hand just goes behind my back. I'm putting it somewhere, and then put the other one on my belt where it's supposed to go, and kind of look up and yeah, Let's go.
Oh, correct your stance for a second. Just like
What are we doing? Is this dancing? Are we human dancing?
sorta. It's the only dance my teacher ever taught me.
That your teacher hired someone else to teach you several
Yes.
traditional ballroom dances so that you would be able to fit in
Able to
better,
infiltrate and then kill someone.
in
Yes.
better society. Yes.
God.
Look, the foxtrot is still a very well-meaning ballroom dance.
Yes. Parker does know how to tango.
Assassination tango. Anyway, with this, the comic book, this issue ends, and we're gonna take a break and start the next issue. So we'll be back in. Let's try to keep it to 10, and I know I'm generally the one that makes that not happen. All right.
Yeah,
Be right
we'll
back, everybody.
soon. Hello, everyone. We
Hi.
are back.
Hello. Welcome back. In this issue of Calling All Heroes, New Athenians, the team is planning a meetup for rebels, essentially, in a place called the Olympus Park Jam, and the Grevin appear to be mobilizing to stop any kind of resistance happening in Olympus Park. The plan is to have After Image show up and at Olympus Park and make them feel like, yes, this is where things are going to happen. Oh no, and then run away. Yeah, I think, and then some people exploded.
One person exploded and took another person with them.
True, one person got exploded. All right, so I think we're just going to open up on the Olympics Park Jam warehouse. The graffiti colored, someone once put a stage in here, and now bands occasionally just like do illicit shows here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an official place by any means, and it's not that far. It's a couple blocks actually over from Olympus Park. It used to be called the Fillmore at Olympus Park, but then people just started calling it Olympus Park, and then it shut down. And jam bands started taking it over in the 90s. And someone spray painted jam real big on one of the walls. And so now it's the jam. The jam is where you go to kind of hide away from adult monitoring. You are all. When do you all get there? You probably get there early.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah. Yes. Well ahead of anybody else showing up, we would want to be there.
Yeah.
Yes. I imagine Ares is doing a perimeter check.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kuvo is probably assisting.
Yeah, and I'm monitoring through the ship scanners to see if any signatures and anybody coming near the building.
All right.
We've got specifically advanced surveillance equipment for just this sort of situation.
Do.
Oh yeah.
All right. First, let's see what happens when After Image attempts to taunt the, I was going to say Dynamite Monkey, but I should say Alien Invasion Force.
Are they mutually exclusive?
Dynamite Monkey is not in this city. Dynamite Monkey is a West Coast hero.
I thought that was a metaphor. I thought like taunting the Dynamite Monkey was like an East Coast saying that I just wasn't familiar with. But
Taunting the Dynamite Monkey is a thing. I don't remember what it's from or where.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
The curiosity will plague us forever.
I mean, who among us has not fought the Dynamite Monkey at some point in their training? I mean,
where's Know Your Meme when I need it? Anyway.
Okay,
Oh,
so I think it starts with After Image just kind of showing up in the park, like behind the troops, like, and then being like, "Hey, over here."
Mhm.
All right.
Don't get the +1 ongoing from me.
You do get a +1 ongoing to this. And I will allow you, if you need team afterwards, I'll allow you to. Oh my god, did they really? Oh no, okay. Monkey Prince, because I wrote Dynamite Monkey, like I googled Dynamite Monkey, and Monkey Prince came up, and I was like, this is a superhero that is a monkey. And it says DC launches new monkey, and that's all I saw. But the character's name is Monkey Prince, not Dynamite Monkey.
Right.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So, TM.
Okay.
We're gonna keep Dynamite Monkey.
You want me to unleash my powers to run away?
Unleash your powers, yes.
Okay.
As I unleash Dynamite Monkey, the greatest hero to ever explode California.
Listen, if I need it transformed.
Well, with my +1 in Freak and the +1 from Kovu, I have a 7.
Okay. That means things didn't go perfectly. Let's see. I will tell you how the effect is temporary or unstable. The effect is temporary. You will cause confusion amongst the ranks. The radio reports are overlapping and often that Kuvo is picking up radio reports of troop movements that are all over the place. It appears someone's trying to give orders. At one point, over the communicators, you hear Millipede Master order a bunch of troops to move to a new location. But it doesn't last long. After Adonis gets on the communicator and puts the troops in their place.
Oh, and what is it that we missed when we were setting, or me missed?
What
when we were setting this up?
important detail did I miss?
What you missed is that the hierarchy of these things, someone can someone can just order them to stop being confused pretty much. And they will revert to following orders. This is a well-trained army with leadership that has invaded planets before, engaged in guerrilla warfare, and does also include a super speedster.
Yep, that's true.
Who can process the information coming in quickly enough.
Yep. That's right.
All right, back at the jam.
So you're saying it's not going to be easy?
I'm saying if you want to get into Olympus Park, it's going to take some effort. And by some effort, I mean you're probably going to lose some people. But that's not what this is about tonight.
Right. This is... Okay. But they're back at the jam. Is
Back
there
at
a
the
small
jam,
crowd gathering?
A couple of people have shown up. A couple of people in generic trench coats and fedora hats. That when they get there, take them off. I scrolled down and I lost.
To reveal their trench coats and fedora hats, because
one of
they're
which
all just big fans of the Shadow.
Is Danger Ranger. An archer hero with a Canadian mount. No, not a Canadian Mountie. Like, what are the Rangers? What, like Walker Texas Ranger with a bow. Danger Ranger.
Okay, got it.
But
got
young.
Yeah,
Got it.
Sure.
Texas
With
Ranger
the
a
ample
bow.
amounts of roundhouse kicks supplemented.
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody gets too close.
Danger Ranger is a young African American man from Texas. Magica, your stereotypical, not exactly a villain, but occasionally does things that brings her in contact with teen heroes. She has been known to work with teen heroes to stop demons and the like. But this has brought her into conflict as well. She is kind of hovering a little bit off the ground with like concentric circles is her magic. Her magic is illustrated by like concentric circles. There is Lookout.
Concentric circles. Lookout? Okay.
There is Lookout, a younger hero, one of the youngest teen heroes that hasn't been like that. Like, Lookout often works with Danger Ranger. Many think Danger Ranger is training Lookout, and Lookout is a small little white kid with the biggest glasses, and incredibly sensitive, like, things to all kinds of stuff. And then there is Flashfire and Washout, a pair of fraternal twins that were created by some kind of government agency to protect an illegal operation, but they broke free from the control of the government or the quote unquote government agency that was making them do things. Also showing up a bit later just around the crack of 9, but has been in the area, we see a girl in a like Western duster wearing a button-down shirt with a bolo tie and a vest, and at her hips are 2 6-guns. This is a teen hero you've all encountered once or twice. Her name is Moxie Gunslinger. And she is just the greatest shot in the world. The greatest sharpshooter this world has ever known. If you need 6 bullets, you got another 6.
You could say she's full of moxie.
Yep, she's full of spirit.
And y'all gonna be full of lead, y'all make that joke again.
There's a lot of low-level thugs in this town that have like bullet hole like wounds on their hands in the shape of bullet holes. Yeah. She doesn't use actual bullets. She has been talked down from using actual bullets.
But if I use real bullets, they gonna live through me shooting them.
Like, yeah, but you can't kill them.
Hell, I can't. I got 2 guns.
No, Moxie is the bright, like, people look at Moxie as the epitome of teen hero in this town.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, somehow this town has a real rodeo scene going on. I'm just
Yeah.
saying. Moxie and Justice Ranger have kind of a rivalry, and rumors that they date, or in an on-again, off-again relationship would currently be that they are in an off phase of whatever they're doing.
On a break.
And Moxie tips her hat at Ares as she spots him doing his patrol. She goes, "Well, hi there. It's nice to see you." Yeah, I'm doing a bad Southern accent.
No,
Gotta
it's
deal with
fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Parker nods like, Moxie, good.
I'm glad you made it out.
Mm-hmm. Me too. It's not great.
Well, we're gonna do the best we can. We're gonna get in there, and we're gonna see what the plan is. I hear After Image has got something.
Yes. He has. I think.
All right.
All
Well, you could just stand near me if you like.
kind of bright red.
The helmet gets the red mark on the outside of it
Yeah.
in the animation. Yeah.
Yeah, a little blush, yeah. Hi, yeah, okay.
And so it hits 8 o'clock. I'm assuming After Image wants to start on time.
yes, after Image wants to start on time.
I mean, I imagine the 7:59:59 to 8 is like an hour and a half for After Image sometimes. So
Just sitting there, just like,
can we just?
I see Magica floating, and I just float a little, like up to the same height, just to show that I can. I don't say anything, just kind of like look over. Then
Oh, when you look
levitate.
over again, Magica is about a centimeter higher than you again.
Float up a little higher.
She's not going to make this a contest, but she is going to win it. That's how Magica thinks.
it's not a contest, but I win.
But I will win.
Yeah, I'm not going to let you know that I've beaten you. Skulking in at 7:59 is a dark shadow, and stepping out of that shadow is a former villain known as Morose,
Morose.
who has like kind of fear powers, emotional manipulation, we'll say.
You would get along, Master Lo.
and it's 8 o'clock. Everyone's looking at Afterimage.
Hi everyone. Thank you for showing up. I know things look bad out there, but we're gonna fight, and hopefully we're gonna fix this. And she'll look at her team. I'm sure everyone knows the rest of my team. Kovu, Flux, Ares. We've been.
Hoover doesn't wait.
Flux doesn't stop.
We've been doing some work and trying to figure out the best way to go about this. We do know that the people with the crab hats are currently not themselves. Ares, do you want to talk about that? I know you know a little bit more about it than me.
Well, with Kovu's help, we got one of them off a soldier without killing them.
Lexi says, "Well, I haven't had such luck."
Yeah, the hat ejects into the spine and connects to the nervous column. So,
And there's a poison involved.
Yes, there is a secretion that it creates that is very toxic.
We saved an octopus.
right, it is possible to save their life. We haven't gotten them revived, but separating that tail with the sharp blade, or kind of glances at Moxie, or bullet something very quick
I did.
to prevent it from injecting the
If you cannot remove it quickly enough, it is wiser to just knock them unconscious, if possible.
That's my suggestion. Leave the hat, just knock them out. We will save them later.
For this reason, it's why I'm going to say do not engage some of the stronger heroes that have hats. If we can't knock them out, it is best to avoid them for now.
The seismic sensors start going off in your advanced sensor suite.
Great.
Hmm.
I feel like this may be a real short meeting. What we may need some help with is leading the bulk of the forces away, and we're going to try and sneak right into the center.
And stop the Poison Prince. We have reason to believe that the Poison Prince is the main governing force of this hive mind within these helmets. And if we can stop the Poison Prince, we should be able to stop the signal. Or at the very case, I can at least use the systems there to amplify a cancellation.
Ooh, yeah. Hey, is anybody here a powerful psychic? I just sort of float up and look around the room. Anybody? Good, strong brain powers.
Brain power actually isn't here.
Oh, brain
Dang
power's
it.
not here.
Where's brain powers not here?
If you're a powerful psychic, read my mind.
If anybody in the room is a powerful psychic right now, what number am I thinking of?
Look at goes 5.
Oh, you're so close. It was actually 4. I don't think that's gonna work, guys. I don't think that's good enough.
That's, okay.
Anyway, the helmets operate on a psychic network. They're all together. You can use crystals, or there's crystals involved.
Like from the juju store, like the health food new age place.
Yeah.
So like
So look
quartz
at
and
my
stuff?
team. Do they sell psychic crystals on Earth?
No, these are alien crystals, not quartz.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, no, my ship doesn't run on quartz. It runs on psychoreactive crystalline structures. Um,
They glow on
so
their
does
own.
Okay.
yeah.
So
So
glowing crystal super useful. Noted.
yeah, and break those, and I don't know, maybe it'll do a thing. Why did I just look back at After Image?
At this point, the ground rumbles.
Okay, we gotta
And
wrap it up.
coming up from a bare patch of dirt on the ground is a known villain
Hmm.
with dark, scraggly hair. He is known as Roublemaker. He comes out of the ground and rises up like it's an elevator and goes, "You all don't even know what you're doing."
He ain't got a hat on, does he?
No.
No.
Okay.
No, Rebelmaker does not wear hats.
He has dark, scraggly, like longish, like imagine if Andrew WK wore a vest but was just as dirty as Andrew WK generally appears to be. That is part of Andrew WK's look.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Yeah.
Okay.
Does that hair flip thing.
Yep.
Takes a beat for everyone to indulge the hair flip and goes, "What makes you think you're the best to just go right into the heart of it? Has anyone even seen the Poison Prince?"
I look directly at After Image.
Yeah, same. Just like
Well, we narrowed down the Poison Prince's location.
You ever met the Poison Prince?
Yeah, I have. Funny enough, several
Yeah,
times.
she has. So there, Rock Boy.
I'm sorry. I missed the invite to your organizational meeting of all the heroes in town to prevent the invasion of Earth and
Oh, I
saving
missed
everyone.
you not going to fuck yourself. So go do that.
You know, Roublemaker. I know you don't remember me, but I was there the last time my mother put you in jail.
Yeah. How'd that turn out?
Oh, he's out of jail now. Your mom didn't do a very good job.
Also,
How's your mom?
Lady Quantum is currently possessed with a crab helmet.
You weren't supposed to tell anybody that.
I mean, he's kind of got a point, I guess. What do you think we should do, Rebelmaker?
Yeah, let's hear this
think-
master plan.
You want a master plan? The heroes talk about how they're the only ones that know what's happening, how they're the only ones that can save us all, and that's never true. They want you to believe that. They want you to feel powerless, especially those without powers. And they try to put us all in their place. You want to start a fight against a power structure, and you're going to ask for all the people that support an existing power structure. No. You need me and my crew. You want to distract them? Fine. You can send them on wild goose chases all over the place, but you know what they're not going to do? Leave home plate undefended.
Hang on a minute.
Roll Master actually has a point. They need a real threat.
It's Rebel Maker, thank you.
I apologize.
I
Rebel Maker has a point.
The little
They
raised
do-
whatever we're talking on, I just float down over and I'm marching over to him.
He is like 6 feet. And he does not move as you approach.
He's 6 feet tall. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
He looks like he might be 18.
Rebel Maker makes a good point. They need a sizable threat in order to actually leave any fortifications.
You think they just took over the heroes?
No.
No, they took over the villains as well.
We already knew that.
You're more than welcome to help. You and
what-
your crew.
Dude, hang
No
on.
one
What's...
said you weren't.
Well, objection. I saw that on a show once. I think that's what you say when. That's what humans say when they're upset about something.
Go ahead, Ace Attorney.
Listen, I don't know what that means, but shut up, because now I am talking, and humans have to respect parlay.
We don't, but I will listen to you.
Ugh. You apologize.
To who? About what?
To whom? First of all,
No.
your English is terrible, and secondly, okay, listen. People with powers. I mean, okay, so yeah, so some people with power exert it poorly, but we call those villains. What we do is
Really?
heroes, as we use our powers to protect people. So
You might,
Well, yeah.
but have you ever seen Adonis protect a person and not a property?
Well, Adonis is an asshole.
Exactly.
Everybody knows that.
Actually, so like Kuvo pulls up the entire rap sheet. Out of 6,461 cases, no.
I mean, probably as a side effect on some, but whatever.
Well,
So,
I don't like
no.
your weird attitude, Rock Boy.
So, what's your proposal?
My proposal is,
You're offering help. Great, accepted.
yeah,
What specifically?
you all distract them with your goody antics, and we are gonna hit their supplies.
Okay.
Here's a counterpoint.
Specifically, what kind of supplies?
They gotta get supplied somehow. Unless they're teleporting the stuff down, there's gonna be a ship coming down with it.
Oh yeah.
Many of my people have, let's say, projectile powers.
Okay.
Great. Then they'll make a really good distraction while we go take care of all of those supplies.
Whoa,
I'm sorry.
whoa.
How many space? No. Hang on. How many spaceships have you been on, Rock Boy?
2.
Really?
Wait, hold on. Flex, quick question. How much would
I'd like to
the-
pierce the mask on that, but okay.
All right,
Okay.
go for it. No, do that. Do that now.
How are you piercing the mask on him?
Yeah,
Is
what
the
are you
question.
trying to do? Well,
Remember, to
Yeah.
do it, you have to do it.
Micro expressions, vocal tremula. I've got all the surveillance equipment and the intense trading. I'm like 2. Really?
here's the mask.
Name them. You know,
Roll
you
it.
say you're a fan of spaceships. Name all.
Name 3 spaceships.
Name 3 spaceships.
All right, with my mundane, and fuck yeah, I rolled an 11. That's a 12 total. So 3
Pierce
questions.
the mask, too. Okay.
No.
3 questions.
Ask 3.
What are you really planning?
Good question, Troublemaker.
Rebelmaker is looking to lash out
Okay.
and is mad about what's happening and wants to be kind of wants to be the hero of it.
Oh yeah.
Center of
I see.
attention. Fair enough. Cool.
Fair enough.
How could I gain influence over him?
Ooh.
Show him you understand how it feels to be seen as a criminal
Sure. Okay.
or to be involved in crime but looking for something else.
Fair. And how could I get him to help us with our plan?
It sounds like he has a plan.
Not
And-
not unaligned with our own. Yeah.
Yes. The timing on it might need to be worked out.
Okay. Then
But
how?
he
Yeah. How can I get him
entirely-
to work with us?
Yeah, how can you get him to work with you? You need to convince him that your plan will work. Because right now, you're like, we're going to make people run all over the place, and then we're going to punch him in the face.
Well, yeah, okay. And I establish bad boy cred and present a reasonable plan. Fair enough.
Yeah. I can help with the reasonable plan.
Okay.
Right.
reasonable to Rebel Maker.
Sure.
That's
Well, that part is still up to Parker to make it sound reasonable. Okay,
Okay.
Kubo's just here to provide the plans.
Look, we know the Poison Prince. He is leading this somehow, or at least the ground forces. He is the top hat, if you will. We can get to him. We can shut all this shit down. If we have to. I've been trained to do bad things. I don't, but I know how.
We're not killing anyone.
Yeah, I'd prefer we didn't.
I'd
Like-
prefer. I'm just looking after him. I'd prefer it too.
But and then Kubo jumps in. But if it needs to,
But if it's not, we're not killing anyone. I'm not killing anyone.
Good. Don't.
And neither are you.
If
And,
someone
and I
has
point
to.
at Rebel Maker, and neither are you.
I think disrupting their supply lines is a good idea. I think causing as much disruption to this as possible is a good idea. I think everyone doing what they can to attract attention and disrupt this is a good idea, as long as we can do it as far away from the Poison Prince as possible.
we can attempt a three-prong strategy. Troublemaker and their crew could damage the supply lines. The other heroes here could provide a
No way.
valuable sense of distraction, and we can infiltrate in.
Rebel Maker, you and your crew can make all the distractions you want. We will take care of the supply lines. I'm not leaving that to him.
I'm gonna provoke Flux.
Do you have influence on Flux?
I do.
Gave influence to everybody.
Yeah, still have it. So the way I'm gonna word it is Kuvo looks over at Flux. We have very little room to negotiate right now, Flux. We have to make this work at all costs. We need all the help we can get and every asset and resource at our disposal.
I march over to Kuvo, and in a very low voice, because I don't want our cameo to overhear me here. You should hear the laugh Shadlin just had in the living room. Kevin, I hope you're happy.
I am actually. Rebel Maker was a character I played in a home game.
That I ran.
Yeah, it was very
and
fun.
he was great. And I'm glad to see him again, but also I hate seeing him like this. I march over to Kuvo. You don't understand. Where I come from, I know guys like this. And the only way you get them to fall in line is you have to show that you're the bigger, scarier dog. It's the one thing I know for a fact. I know I don't know a lot about Earth, but believe me, you have to stay on top of these or they will just mutiny all over the place.
Kuvo looks over at Troublemaker. If we agree to let you attack the supply lines while we infiltrate and to take a shot at Poison Prince, would that be acceptable?
Well, hang on. Weren't you trying to provoke me to something?
Yes, I was.
Okay. I
So-
wasn't sure if you wanted to still go through with that.
Oh, I was gonna still go through with it, but I'm adding onto it.
Okay.
If you know where the Poison Prince is, go for it. But if you don't, check back with me later.
I look over at Flux again. Then we need to I think that's an agreement. We need to find the Poison Prince.
My
you
crew
should help
doesn't
me.
kill anymore.
That's
Not while
good.
I'm in charge of it.
That's good.
You don't kill lightly.
No,
You don't kill at all.
No. We don't
Yep.
kill lightly.
Must be nice to be a hero.
Yeah, it's pretty great. You should try it sometime.
Yeah, must be.
Sometimes it's not.
So,
So I think what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to just provoke Flux into just easing it up and letting Roublemaker's crew do their thing, and letting us just work on working.
Yeah.
Let us work their plan into ours and just make it work
All
well
right.
together.
roll it.
So you're trying to provoke me to back down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, I just need to be clear on what's coming my way.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it's superior, and I do have influence over Flux. So
Trying to think. I'm gonna take advantage of my influence over you.
okay.
Oh, actually, wait. I can do this after the roll. Never mind. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
you
what
can do this after roll. Well, I rolled a 7, so you can decide if you want.
Cool.
To, you can decide if you want to.
I'm gonna
reject it or not.
surrender the influence that I hold over you to give you a -2 on that move.
Okay, so that's a
So
5.
I'm gonna go delete that I have influence over Kuvo.
Mm-hmm.
And now that is a miss.
Yep, that is a miss. I get to mark
Right.
potential now.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I get to
You
make
go
a
ahead.
move now.
You
Yes,
do,
you
yes.
do.
That has no prescribed move for provoke.
So, the Roublemaker is like, whatever. I've told you what I'm gonna do. And if you all want to follow this group into literal war, you go right ahead. But don't underestimate me and my crew. You're going to need us. And you, points, like, stares directly at Flux. You don't know anything about Earth.
I know I'm the best shot you've got at getting out of this mess.
How? What makes you the best shot?
Well, because I'm from space, and they're from space, and obviously that means, again, who here is an expert on the extraterrestrial? Exactly, me, the extraterrestrial.
Well, then how do we stop them, Space Princess? Take a powerful blow, emotionally.
Hey, I missed. I rolled snake eyes. Well, actually, I rolled
So-
3, but
So you weather the remark. Because take a powerful blow, on a miss,
want-
you stand strong.
yes.
And
Mark potential as normal.
Mhm.
And say
Um,
how you weather his scathing comment.
I march back over to him again, and with each step I take, I'm getting slightly taller until I'm at his 6 feet,
Mhm.
so I can look at him eye to eye. And I grab him by the shirt and say, because I have seen my mother bring entire worlds to their knees, I think I know a little bit about what's going on here today. And I just push him back towards his little hole.
Yes. Huh. And she did that without killing? And he
I just turn
sinks
away.
into his hole.
Yeah, I turn away from him.
No, he doesn't sink. He slowly sinks.
I think after mid image like gets her wits about her and is like, wait, Roublemaker, don't leave yet. We need to talk about this. I need to meet your team or something. Like, we can do this.
It's
all
fine.
right after image. We can workshop their strategy into ours. We'll make it work.
Everyone's phone starts pinging with a million alerts from the Calling All Heroes app.
Checks
It is
out.
temporarily connected.
Parker suppresses a flinch.
What the hell?
Impressive.
whatever the alien equivalent of
ZX
hell
has
is.
apparently delivered a
Frel?
data packet to the local distribution server, which is updated with like a gig of like. It takes a minute for everyone to just get all the info that's coming into your phone.
Mhm.
Because it's now coming in on a weird Bluetooth signal that didn't exist 2 days ago.
I see. I see. They have improvised. Impressive.
Yep.
Confusing.
So, posts show up from all over the globe. More and more villains have apparently joined the people who are considered villains have joined the app. There are people talking about a lot of it is like major post, do not remove the Abraxius. It will cause death in most cases. And people talking about how in other territories, controlled by different Metroprians, things are not as peaceful as they are here. This is a city under siege. Some of them are just cities under assault. And it seems like you see pictures of different Metroprians, one of which is Pinnacle, I think I called him, one of the biggest heroes in the world. And he has control over like the New York area, the New York metropolis, greater metropolis, and is wielding just the biggest greatsword. And no one's ever seen a weapon in Pinnacle's hands. There's a Metropian Sanvuele, who is a hero out in Phoenix, Arizona, is holding a big ass spear, which is also out of like character for them. You see Badger, one of the strange crew, who has knives for hand, holding what looks to be some kind of shield with crystals on it. All of the weapons have somewhat of a similar kind of design aesthetic, but there is no picture of the Poison Prince. No one's seen the Poison Prince all day. There's information about like what, apparently psychics are extraordinarily effective here, but are being taken out very quickly, and they are using apparently speedsters to focus down the psychics.
See, we don't need a stupid crew. We've got all the information we need right here.
There comes
Still
through
need
one ping. It is a picture of the Poison Prince. The Poison Prince normally looks like a person standing in black with like yellow armor with like fog coming out of it, and you know that the entire thing can like become a fog of poison. Here we see the Poison Prince with an Abraxas that looks custom fitted in the same color as their armor, and holding what looks to be a massive scepter. It looks like a giant mace with a big bulb at the end.
Who posted that?
That was posted by Roublemaker.
And
Crap.
does it say?
Yeah.
Actually, Kuvo would be able to get the data out of the metadata out of the picture, I'm sure.
The metadata on it is that was taken earlier today, like just before the thing happened.
Is it like a low angle shot, like some like ground level kind of?
No, it is as though someone was standing in the same room as them.
Why couldn't he just tell us that?
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Because it's something he didn't want us to know.
Well, he clearly wanted you to know. He put it on the app.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted us to know after he left, but
The image data, the data on the image is there's no GPS on the
Okay.
image. There's just a
Yeah.
timestamp.
Yep.
Though you can see that from many of the pictures involved, it does look to be in a tunnel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm. I'm gonna. So, Kubo
If anyone
is
wants to, oh sorry, if anyone wants to update their app and post any messages for the rest of the world, it looks like there's a window to post,
Mhm.
and after that, it's probably going to be like frozen for the rest of the day.
I am already like typing out everything we know about the Grevin and the Dilgrav.
Right.
Kubo, can
A
you
lot
info
of it
dump?
is confirmed on there.
I am info dumping, and I am currently also extrapolating all known posts to formulate a new strategy.
Yep.
so the reason After Image wanted a map and now has a scale model of the city.
Mhm.
She wanted to do her best with the information that they've gathered so far, mark down as much of the like troop movements of the Grevin on the map, so she just takes a picture from above.
Yeah. Moxie helps fill in on areas of the city y'all haven't been. She's from Southwest New Athens.
Cause
Just cause.
Because why not?
And Moros gives you a bunch of information from the northern suburbs.
Okay. So
Thank you.
what's gonna happen is Kuvo's gonna take all the information from all the new intel from all the other heroes, as well as from the app, and Lily just he's gonna have to actually unlock Ashura a little bit more to do this processing
Okay.
because of the large data quantity. So inside the suit, Kuvo has to you can start seeing these this kind of interface open up in the visor, and then you see several locked sections, and it says Ashura in the center, and you can see, and one of them has already been unlocked. He opens another. There's 4 total. He unlocks the next packet, and he says, Ashura, assess and disseminate all information and quantify into a new battle strategy. We're going to need everything we have.
Force tolerance?
Non-lethal?
Assessing. Unleash your powers.
Yep.
You are extending your senses.
Yep. And I'm going to be... And let's see what happens. Okay. I rolled a 7. So...
I will tell you how it is unstable or temporary.
Or I can... I can either mark a condition instead...
Or you can mark a condition, yes.
I'm gonna mark a condition again. I'm gonna be insecure again because there's a lot of new information and I don't know how Ashura is gonna process it.
Yep.
And I don't know how this is all gonna turn out.
For once, you are a little lost about the future. You don't know what you're going to do next. The interaction with Roublemaker has clearly left some impression on Ares. Ares, your training in infiltration and assassination, even in the midst of supernatural forces, often relied on pitting them against or super normal, I should say, not just demons and whatever. Extra normal forces, often pitted on disorienting them, pitting them against each other, and using confusion. Sadly,
doesn't work here.
That doesn't work here. What would Master Lao say to you?
If I can't cause confusion, I have to be unpredictable. And I might have to be alone. I don't have insecure to clear, but I'm very tempted to take foolhardy action without talking to the team.
Don't do that. I'm going to say, thinking that is actually going to push the your mentor's label.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
what does your mentor embody?
Mentor embodies superior,
And denies
mundane.
shift. Shift your labels one step each.
Okay.
There are people milling around, and Flux, standing next to you suddenly, is T. She goes, "Hey, that
I
was
look down,
that was intense. I didn't."
shrink back down very quickly.
She was, "You're actually, well, you're big." She goes, "You're tall."
Oh, sometimes.
And then when you
Um,
shrink back down, she,
Normally I'm this size.
"Hi."
Hi. Aren't you my art class?
I don't think you're supposed to say that, but yes.
Typical teen hero moment right there.
I'm not from school Earth. I am from beyond the stars.
Please.
I am Princess, Her Royal Majesty Princess Calendry Oblanex Bartonix.
I mean-
Earth humans call me Flux for my the shape-changing powers that are part of my species, which is from the
So
stars.
you seem nervous after that, but like, that dude's just angry at shit.
Exactly. See, this is what I'm talking about. He just wants to come in here and he wants to push everyone around, and you can't let things like that go unchecked. Doesn't matter if he's got a point or not. It just matters that we are working together, because we have to be better than that. Or we're just gonna fall apart, and then the Dilgrev are gonna roll in here and carve us all up, and
You
it's
can
just
see
gonna-
her just like looking more worried.
Look, it's not without hope, right? Like, I, and she kind of grumps for a second, and like looks at her what the hell did we call them? Elps.
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 Yeah.
Her elps. Yeah, her ELP. She looks down at her ELP. We're not out of options yet. They're not the only ones that are from the stars. I know there's other heroes and stuff that have been from space, but there's more cavalry out there than we might give ourselves credit for. So,
She touches your arm gently and goes, "Well, I'm glad you're here."
I turn from pink to a what's after, I guess, brighter than pink. I blush red.
Okay.
I mean, there's a Stuart Semple pink that's like ultra
Yeah.
pinkest pink.
You move down the Pantone color wheel. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I go from like hot pink to fuchsia.
All right. Kuvo, you're sitting here processing all this information.
Mm-hmm.
How are you interacting? Are you interacting at all with the other people around you?
No, so Kuvo doesn't want anybody else to know that he had to unshackle more of Ashura, and he doesn't want to risk everyone knowing what Ashura really is. So the only one that's there with Kuvo is actually just Ashura.
So Kuvo standing in the middle of the room, not talking to anybody, putting out the... People occasionally start to like look over and walk over, but then quickly turn away when they realize like Kuvo's not going to interact.
Yeah, because like you can see like a little bit of like hollow projections every so often.
Yeah.
From the gloves and everything, but he's literally data manipulating as that's going on.
Lookout goes, "That's really cool."
And there's a pause. Looks down. Thank you.
I like the way you set up polygons. That's the highest resolution I've ever seen.
Yes, there was.
Did you build the processor yourself?
I did. I built the processor. I also handled the. I also even custom made the imagers
Oh my god.
themselves.
Do you have ray tracing in there?
Ray tracing and also a photo generator as well. So actually, it doesn't rely on using any existing light sources or having to bend light around the object.
Wow. And does it have a predictive function too?
Predictive, and it also has advanced quantum processing.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
So it is naturally intuitive and can actually predict my functions as well as also recall my preferences.
You suddenly become aware you have influence over Lookout.
That's fine.
Lookout thinks you're the goddamn shit. Thinks you are the coolest to build this awesome thing with such attention to detail.
And then I go on to continue. And the microwave is actually a nano lattice that actually utilizes carbon and silicon protein weavings.
He starts talking a little bit about how he's not on your level, but he's interested in what you know.
Mhm.
He's trying to keep up, but he is at least you're 17, so he's about 5 years younger than you, if not more.
Mhm.
But he knows some things, and he did build those glasses himself.
Tell me more about the photo retention in your eyewear.
Well, really, I just found that once you have a predictive function, you can compress more. And then the compression means you have smaller storage, meaning you don't need as big of a bulky piece. And I've got the glasses down to this, but someday I hope to bring them down to contacts.
Oh, and then I just pull up like a blueprint of something similar to that concept.
Yeah, his is actually using a bit more predictive than you had intended in
Right.
yours, and
Mhm.
you think there might actually be the amount of predicting he's doing is more predictive than your average normal human can do.
So I pull up like the schematics for what I had done myself, and
Yeah.
I kind of look over and I said, "This should be what you're looking for. However, if you're looking for more predictive functions, it will result in a sensory overload. So you need to compensate for that with a virtual assistant or some kind of data assistant to handle the load.
Actually, I don't.
Otherwise, then how do you handle the existing data now?"
I predict it.
Hmm.
Cut over to, or is there any emotional result on Kuvo from that exchange?
I think it's the first time in a while he's actually had someone he can talk to, like just talk about
On his
something
level, almost.
on his level.
Yeah.
Because he's had to lower all of his speech patterns just to not sound completely robotic and also completely, decades ahead of everyone else.
Yeah.
Someone he can actually nerd out with. I mean,
Yeah.
Yes.
You keep having these interactions with Flux. They're like, "Oh, great! This is incredibly advanced technology. So how do I A?" And she just goes, "Oh,
Punch it.
put your
Yeah,
hand on it, I
pretty
guess."
yeah.
I can drive the
just-
car. I have no idea how to build one.
But how does that do anything game wise?
I think that
I don't feel the need to enforce it on you, but I feel
No.
like you might want to
I
consider it.
feel, yeah, I'm thinking mundane can go up, and I'm thinking superior can go down for this
Okay.
one.
He
Yeah,
adjusts
I
your
can see
level better.
superior going down if you have a peer, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's why I'm thinking, yeah, superior goes down to a +1, and I'll move mundane to a 0 now.
Cool.
Yay.
After image, you're still standing there overlooking the city, and Moxie is just so happy to be working on it with you. Because generally you're in different territories. Moxie thinks your mom's pretty cool and has helped her once or twice, and that you're really cool. I don't know how she would say. Well, she's kind of a straight shooter. So, you know what? Your mom's pretty cool, but I think you're really cool too. Like, I can't imagine what it's got to be like, the pressure from that expectation.
Yeah, it can feel like a lot. And I think like as they're doing this, after Image's phone is like off to the side, open to the picture of the poison prince, like after she sent the picture of this, and she keeps glancing at it and then back at everything. Yeah, thanks. You know, you seem really cool. Everybody seems to think that you are the next big superhero of the city.
I know it's a lot of pressure. I don't love that, but I'm doing a good job, and I want to do a good job, and it's nice to have respect. But sometimes it's just like, sometimes I just want to go and get a yogurt, you know,
Yeah, yeah, I understand
without the
that.
place being robbed.
Right, right. That would be nice. I don't think anybody understands, like, like everybody expects me to just, because I can, write a paper in half an hour. Nobody understands that it's nice to just sit down and write it in advance without rushing to do it.
Huh. Yeah, I like to plan ahead so that I know what's coming up, but I imagine you do a lot of that.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I try to. Things usually go better when... I feel like they go better when I, actually have a plan. I don't end up in the subway system on accident. That wasn't great.
Oh, is that a thing that happened?
Yeah. I got slammed into the ground and I guess I phased through it into the subway and then I had to run away from the
Awesome.
train. Yeah, I haven't figured out. I didn't know I could phase. I'd never done it before. I haven't
So
figured
you
out how
got
to
a new
control
thing
it.
to practice.
I didn't think of it like that, but yeah, I do.
She continues to strategy with you, but is clearly treating you as her equal. And yeah,
The the great thing about this is, After Image is going to be very happy to come out of this with a nice, solid, color coded plan, even if nobody's going to follow it.
After Image has a binder, and god damn it, it's gonna be a nice binder.
Exactly.
At least it's not a trapper keeper.
Ares, you go out on to like reconnoiter again, just to see what's happening, and you see Magica up there. She's smoking a clove. You're not gonna bust me for this, are you?
No, but I can smell it a mile away.
So, I like to let people know I'm coming. Give them a little heads up so that they can be ready to be surprised.
Okay.
Also magic.
That's legit. I don't have magic, so I don't want them to know I'm there.
Well, then they'll only smell the clove, won't they? They won't smell you.
There.
I'm sure you know what it's about. You're quick.
I mean...
She flicks the cigarette off the roof and grabs a tool off your belt. Just sometimes it's just about distraction. And hands it back to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I should have seen that coming.
You should have.
I am maybe a little off my game. This isn't the invasion I was expecting.
Wasn't the invasion that I've prepared for either.
Well, I guess as disappointed as we both are, we may as well deal with the invasion that we have.
You have to deal with Master Lo, right? This is someone who knows about Master Lo.
Mm-hmm. Well put. Yes.
He seems like a nightmare. And not in the way I'm trained to deal with nightmares. Like to send them back to the hell dimensions they come from. But like a difficult person to exist around.
I am well trained.
As am I.
I've learned a great deal from Master Lo.
She gets in real close to you, like uncomfortable, like very close,
It's like,
and says, maybe someday he'll let us train together. And then she fades into a wisp of smoke and fades away.
Oh,
yeah.
Darius needs a nap. We need to reboot him.
Speaking of which, it has been a long day for all of you. All the heroes are kind of like tired. They're like, all right.
Do I still have my wallet?
Yes, you do, but in there is a picture of a young girl, a teen girl.
Mm-hmm.
And it's definitely Magica. And she's standing in front of a Dawn Industries backdrop. It's like a red carpet for a Dawn Industries event. And it has her number and her name is written on the back, and it's Dawn. And her phone number.
Well played.
Well played.
Memorization happens.
As you memorize her facial features seem a little similar to someone you know. All right.
Well, I'm gonna have to rewrite all the poetry on that busted laptop anyway, so.
All right.
You mean this one? Chucks it.
As I pulled all the information that was viable off of it. Sadly, none of your poetry survived.
None of the poetry was viable, no.
Listen, we needed your poetry to talk to the Psychic Network. It was sacrificed to a good end.
You are all winding down. It seems like someone has brought food, and one of Roublemaker's acquaintances has come over with like a peace offering of like cheesecakes. And
Oh damn.
yeah, this guy is called Pickpocket because he can create little pockets.
He makes little tiny dimensions. Oh my god. That's great.
Now
damn.
just never put him next to a portable hole, and we'll be all fine.
I do not use a knife or fork. I just scoop a chunk of it off and into my mouth.
All right. The
I assume it is finger food.
so it's and Pickpocket tells you that in the morning is when the supply ship is coming, is what Rebel Maker found out.
Okay.
So we've got a couple of hours before anyone can really do anything. And he says Rebel Makers suggest we all rest up.
Agreed. And
Sleep
we
is
will.
good.
And we will be ready as well.
We'll coordinate with you. He's excited.
Well,
Kuvo hands like one of the communication devices that Parker has in the from their main warehouse. Like hands it over to Pickpocket. Stay in touch.
We will. Goes like this, and a little hole appears in space, and he just
Mhm.
puts it in there, seals it back up.
Fascinating.
When
All
you
right.
mentioned communication devices, Flux kind of just gets this like look in her eye of this. She's clearly like, "Huh."
Sorry.
That's all right.
Now, the night goes on for a little longer. Some people are gonna hang around and chat, but most
Mhm.
people want to check in on like their loved ones.
Yeah.
But before you get to do that, everyone else is pretty much gone.
Is this? You about to wrap up for the night?
Oh, sort of, yes. Do you want to do a
Okay.
thing first?
A very tiny little tag scene.
Let's go for it.
I just lost Busy Izzy's name. Here we go. T.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I bring her to my ship.
She is just like in wonder at it,
Yeah.
and you
So
brought her there, and she was like, made you take her by like pulling on her hand.
just come on. No.
So you held her hand the whole way there?
If she wouldn't come or if she felt weird about it, I would just grab her and pull.
Oh yeah, then
Like
she
manic,
just lets you do
manic
that.
pixie dream girl style, just like come
Yes.
on. I bring her into the ship. All right, so the communications array on this thing is really powerful, and you've got a radio broadcast thing that you do. 1 + 1 = alien spaceship broadcasts, right?
Huh? Yeah.
Great.
Galactic DJ.
You know,
Works, but okay.
as I go over, like this whole time, I'm doing the walking talk over to the pilot seat, and I plop down. Great, because you know the range of this thing. I slap my hand down. It's pretty far, and one of the little displays just pops up and says, "Homing beacon activated."
Gotcha.
Galactic DJ is not a bad hero name.
Izzy comes up and puts her arms on like her shoulder, on your shoulder, and clearly is ready to make out with you. You just took a girl who was super into you to a private place for just the two of you to show her that cool thing you had. That's what she's getting from this.
Oh yeah. Meanwhile, I'm like, "ET phone home."
Come back to my spaceship, see my posters.
Yeah, but after you hit that button, you have like a moment, and then she just like kisses you. Every
The
communication
human
device,
thing, and I tackle her.
every communication device triggers that anyone has. Some of Kuvo, you know this is going to happen a second before because something in your armor noticed it.
Okay.
A broadcast is coming.
From
A
where?
gravelly voice comes out of a radio signal that seems to be replicating on most stations. It says, "Calling all heroes. Calling all heroes. This is Acrisius Marshall. There is a resistance. Bravo, Alpha, Delta, Golf, Echo. Communication channels will vary. The new generation will be our salvation. Keep looking. Listen closely. Calling all heroes." The message repeats twice and then goes to static. Kuvo, inside your armor,
Mhm.
a box unlocks. with every word of this, a subroutine is triggered.
Yep.
Brava Alpha Delta Golf Echo triggers the badge protocol.
Yep.
The new generation will be our salvation was the passcode to open the a hero protocol in case older heroes had suddenly become incapacitated.
Yeah.
Keep looking, listen closely was a signal to tell you to find subsonic messages embedded in that broadcast itself. When it repeats twice, your armor has completed a sequence of equations and gives off, it says, release beacon.
I hit yes.
You hit yes. There is a pulse from the armor. Then in the middle of the jam is a little circle on the ground that comes down in waves. It etches itself, spins faster and faster. There's a bright light. When standing in front of you is a little heavy-set black older man with kind of a bit of an afro, a little bit balding up front. He looks a bit like Yaphet Kotto and sounds a bit like Colonel Tai from Battlestar Galactica. He goes, well, guess we can start here. I'm Acrisius Marshall, Director of Badge. You're the people I'm going to use to save the world. Does anyone have a one-liner before we go? Does anyone have a line to end this on?
I think I'm too busy sucking face.
Yes, you.
So Ming actually returns back to like a kind of impulsively like salutes Marshall, and I don't think there's anything he says. It's just like literally the posture literally instantly straightens and becomes like.
It does, because it turns out you've met Acrisius Marshall before, but you forgot it by programming these subroutines in.
Yep. And now I remember everything.
Everything.
We.
And that's where we're at. All right, thank you, everybody. Let's go around and do our little bits. The thing, the move. That's it.
Yep.
The end of
End of
session
session.
move.
End of session move. All right.
End of session.
Starting with, as general, we're going... Oh, my browser popped out. So, starting with after image. End of session. Choose one. Grow closer to the team, grow into your own image, or grow away from the team. After image.
I think grow into your own image of yourself. Like, after image got to do what she wanted. She got to organize some of the teen heroes. She's making plans. She's getting to be the kind of hero that she wants to be. And I think so. I think that works.
Sounds great.
Shift one label up and another down. Let's see. I'm going to shift mundane up and freak down.
All right. Cool. Thank you. Ares.
I think Ares has kind of grown away from the team in that it kind of has come very much into the forefront that Ares is maybe willing and trained to do things that no one else here would agree to. And yeah,
Who has influence on you at this point?
Everybody.
Yeah, I still have influence over.
I also do.
I have influence over Ares still. I got it back. So.
Yep. Everybody does, though.
But I think me and Ares though are more in line, like in
Yeah.
terms of like
Yeah.
we're willing to make that choice if we have to.
I think Flux and I have the largest disagreement on this point.
Oh, almost certainly.
I
I will delete my influence for Ares. Great. I now have influence over Afterimage and Explodio.
Well, this just means I've got to put you and Kuvo in more scenes together.
Okay. I think for me, I'll go next. I had a choice because all of them are viable for me this turn around.
Mm-hmm.
I think in a way though, Kuvo has grown a little closer to the team, even though it was confrontational, because it's rare for Kuvo to put this much emotional.
The tension is how Kuvo knows relationships.
Right, exactly, and so because of that, he can he resonated with Ares very well regarding the difficult choice they might need to make, but also has grown better in relying on the team to do their own thing, which they're best at, as opposed to trying to do everything.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to go ahead and mark potential. I'm going to keep my conditions. So I'm going to mark potential instead.
All right. And Flux.
And
Yeah. So weirdly, despite where we ended up, or maybe even because of it, I actually grew closer to the team. Ares literally made me feel more like I belong here on Earth earlier in the day, certainly. And Flux is one of those sorts of people that you're like saying like, oh, I'm gonna do something that seems dangerous or bad or wrong, and she's gonna be like, no, I cling tighter. So yeah, I think Ares absolutely made me feel more welcome. So I will give influence to Ares, who already has it, and then mark potential.
Oh,
Okay.
I forgot one thing from mine. Sorry. At the end of the session, did I take steps to make amends to my shame?
I will say you did not choose to go lethal force in your initial assessment of the overall situation, which is technically growth. Also, you found out that you made a choice before to remove a bit of information from yourself that has now suddenly come back and is going to probably help save the world.
Possibly. Yeah. Okay. I'm good with that.
So I'm going to give that to you.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Sorry for interrupting that.
No.
I keep forgetting it every time.
Yeah.
So if
I'd
I'm
rather you
gaining
remember.
influence, and I already have it, then we shift labels.
Shift. Yep.
Yes.
So,
Because the last time I think you did already shift the mundane up.
Yeah, and I don't think this. I think shift up. Savior?
Maybe Savior. Yeah.
Okay.
Thinking
Go up.
Savior, demonstrate, be the good alien, and maybe shift down danger.
Oh no. All right, there we go.
I
Sorry.
know,
It's interesting because I'm looking at her character sheet. There are things she's very good at and things she's terrible at, and there's no middle ground with Flux.
Yeah.
that seems about right. Yeah.
Honestly, she is
That
she is-
seems all right.
just a girl of extremes.
If she
Goddamn.
wants to find a middle ground, she can.
I guess that's true. But
Oh, man. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. That was a great session.
Yeah, it was
I
super
think that
fun.
was fantastic. So let's go around and give our quick outros, starting with Nerdy Teddy.
Hi everyone, I'm Nerdy Teddy. You can find me on Twitter at Nerdy Teddy and in the Nerds with Dice Discord, and as well as here, supposed to be 3 times a week. Tuesdays for Rift's Ballad of Fates, of course for this game on Thursdays, and Fridays for Warehouse 13, or Warehouse 15.
15.
Sorry, it's 15. Mondays, I'm over on the Bardic Nox channel playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And I have some writings, some works that I have. You can find them following the link there, or
Alright.
it's also in my Twitter bio.
All right, thank you so much. Commander Pulsar.
Hi everyone, I'm Commander Pulsar on Twitch and Twitter. You can find me on Sunday afternoons for Lego Brunch, where we put together fun, cool Lego sets. Working on a Land Rover Defender right now. That's a pretty impressive set, and then we're going to get into space stuff. On every other Tuesday, I'm on So Many Games channel running Star Trek Adventures, the continuing voyages of the USS Norman Borlaug. And then on Thursday mornings, we do Morning Patrol from 8 a.m. Central to 10 a.m. Just talking about game stuff. Today we did a quick game review of some products and then talked about writing better fight scenes for games. And yeah, that's me. And then we go around again next Sunday, do it all over.
All right.
But you can
Thank
find
you.
me on. I am a drive-through affiliate, so you find the link for that on my pinned tweet. And if you find something cool on drive-through, you can buy it through that.
Awesome. All right, Fox.
Hey folks, I remain Fox Barrett at Fox_Barrett on Twitter is where you can find me. Catch me over most of the time when I'm streaming. It's over at twitch.tv/DevilsLikeGaming. Currently, you can see me Sunday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for Innistrاد's Irregulars. Sorry, Zed. For our 5e Innistrad game, since the name. It's Castlevania, kind of. So come check it out.
All right, and Jackie.
Hi everybody, I'm Jackie, better known as Death by Mage on the internet, and you can find me with all my wonderful games. I'm a freelance TTRPG writer and editor, and all the other fun things that go with it. So you can find all my games at death.mage.itch.io, and I will be releasing a game tomorrow because tomorrow is Itch Creator Day. So if you don't know what that is, that means that basically all Itch is removing their cut of all sales. So so all purchases actually go to the creators tomorrow. So if you want to look for some new indie TTRPG games or any indie video games, that is a great day to go to support your support other creators. So take a look, browse around, and I will be
just about
releasing
to buy something on Itch. Thank you.
So tomorrow's a great day for that, and I will be releasing a game called Project Daybreaker, which is basically Dracula in space with the vein of Snakes on a Plane. So take that for what you will. And and there's a lot of Easter eggs in that. One of the playbooks is called The Swearer. So if you can't figure out what that refers to, I don't know what else to tell you. And I am also the creative lead manager for Unbreakable Publishers, which you can find on Twitter at @unbreakable_pub. We are a platform to raise the voices of Asian creators. And for TTRPGs, Unbreakable Revolution will be coming out sometime in the next couple of weeks. We haven't set a date yet, but we have just ordered the print proof, so that will be coming out very soon.
All right, thank you so much. My name is Kevin Myers. I've been your game boss for the evening, and you can find me Tuesdays at 8 running Rift's Ballad of Fates, a game which is not always about forensic accounting, but sadly was last week. I promise more explosions next week. And you can find my wife's amazing knitwear designs at lattesandllamas.com, which I have put into the chat incorrectly. How does typing work? There we go. All right. Thank you so much, everybody.
Something smash.
Yeah, but every
Next
time I
week,
lift up my keyboard, so much stuff just falls out of it. It's gross. Anyway.
Ugh.
Ooh, what did you just do? No.
That was a poor choice. That was a poor choice.
That was a mistake.
That was a flux choice, Fox.
That definitely was a
that was a
flux
flux
choice.
choice.
Sorry, there's bleed
Oh my
over.
gosh.
What can I say?
There's bleed. Yes, I think basically you just need to invite Explodio to your next Rift game, and I think that should do the trick.
Actually, you know what? I could have Explodio fall into the rift.
Just have him explode so hard that he passes through the veil and
Through the
across
multiverse.
Yeah, and across the dimensions.
That's the great thing about Rifts.
It's Rifts. You don't really
It's
need
Rifts.
much more than that for an explanation. So
I
done.
exploded. I'm here. Okay.
I'm here.
All right. Do we have a raid?
Yep, we will be raiding TTRPG Theater tonight.
All right.
Okay, cool.
We'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
See you. Bye.
Guys,
Thanks for
see you
joining
next
us.